Hey everyone, welcome to Edge of Legend episode 31 here at Nat 20 Productions, official on Twitch. Thank you so much for giving us a few seconds to get some things ironed out with tech, no big deal. And here we are, ready to go with the episode. First things first, I want to give a shout out to the chat, one of our legends of the chat, Mr. Mahooch, who made a character sheet of me. And now it explains why last episode y'all were asking, "Hey PJ, what's your bench?" And I'm like, stop asking, stop it, stop. It was weird. It kind of broke me, but thank you so much. I saw the character sheet. It was really cool, and we're probably gonna put in the Discord. Thank you so much. That was a very awesome gift. So without further ado, let's do some introductions. Do a quick recap if you haven't seen us do it. We have it on YouTube, Facebook, all over the place. It was an awesome recap. But starting off with Sidney Rubino. Sidney, please tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
I never go first. This is so exciting. My name is Sidney Rubino. I play Ilona, the half-elf cloistered cleric, and my pronouns are she, her.
Absolutely awesome. Ian, please tell us, are you about to drink? I can go to someone else.
My name is Ian. Uh, I am used to improv and changing my actions in a short amount of time. I also play Woodward, the gnome druid. There we go. I'll get it down one day.
Oh, and your pronouns?
Oh, he, him.
Awesome. All right. Mr. Michael Powell, tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Hey everybody, I'm Michael Powell, and I play the fabulous Rufa. And he's a human investigator, and our pronouns are he, him, they, them.
Very nice. Kylie, tell us who you are, who you're playing, what your pronouns are.
Hello, I'm Kylie, or I go by Kai. It really doesn't matter at this point. I play Shionibus, the Elven Ranger, and we both go by she, her.
Very, very awesome. Sam, please tell us who you are, who you're playing, what your pronouns are.
Hello, I'm Sam Sterling. I play Ichipoktan Papakui, also known as La Pacifica Dorita, and our pronouns are she, her.
Awesome, possum. My name is PJ. I am the GM of Edge of Legend. My pronouns are he, him, and I'll be playing all the characters in between. And thank you so much for tuning in. Here's what you missed last time on episode 30 of Edge of Legend. Basically, the heroes are in this giant city called Agrippa upon Aubert, with kind of separated into 5 different districts, each connected by a bridge over 2 waterways. As they're looking around town, they find that one of the generals of the Green Army, an orc named Geb Zebel, is in town. After a few divine moments of inspiration and investigation, they find out that not only is he in town, he's by the docks, and he's about to welcome the Blue Rock tribe of orcs to enter the city with him. And the heroes decide to buckle in and recruit the town and have a nice ambush waiting when they come back from the docks with their full army of orcs, which they do. In the battle for Grippa upon the Bear began. And after some rounds of combat, some violence, some choices, and an ambush, they were finally able to take out Geb Zebel and capture the leader of the Blue Rock tribe, Captain Marazong. And now, here we are, as the debris of war has crumbled and the fog is lifted, and a breath has exhaled from our lungs, as the heroes are standing in the square of the market district of Agrippa upon Aubert, where the battle for the city just took place. So let's pick things up right where we left off, smack dab in the middle of victory. So as you look around the city square, you see that there are some injured and regrettably some losses. Battle takes from both sides. However, that being said, you know from the smoldering, churning clouds way off at the port that your secret fire attack was successful, and the Blue Rock merchant ship has been set on fire, probably sinking as we speak. You remember from the arrow shot from Shionibus that Gebzebel is no longer a general in the Green Army because he's no longer alive. Morel kind of breaks the line a bit, looking around. Kind of adrenaline fading, making him breathe heavy. He turns and he goes, "Those orcs, they were confused, they were lost, but they were trying to break formation. They were trying to run away. We killed deserters. We killed orcs in retreat. impossible to say, let alone. I mean, and then he starts to walk up close to you and he whispers, was that the right thing to do? Kill enemy combatants as they're fleeing for their lives, whether they know which direction they're running or not.
Um, I don't know.
Yes.
What do you mean, friend Woodward?
I know it's a lot to take in, but you have to understand. This entire town was planning on leaving too. We've walked through Bryax. They didn't kill just the people who fought back. We've seen what they were about to do to Fort Raggedy. They would have killed anyone, even innocent bystanders. There's no point in returning a favor that they never gave to you.
And this is Ward after all. And in Ward, my Acadian friend, you know what happens in Ward.
I do. I also know that sometimes in war, you take prisoners. Do we at least take one prisoner?
I mean, I'd say our
Yes.
the captain's our prisoner now.
All right, so we have confirmation that we have one of their officers in captivity.
Is she still unconscious?
Yeah, Alona messed her up so good, she chose to not be awake for a very long time. So
Cool. It just really sucked. But like we turned around and she was like getting up and like.
Yeah, like
just popping
don't
up.
be
Don't
suspicious.
suspicious.
Don't
I
be
was just
Don't be
about to say
suspicious.
that.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Just the orc captain, just like,
No.
don't mind me, laddies. I'm just escaping now. She doesn't sound like that, but you have to have one bad pirate accent. All right, so Morale just kind of goes, good. Do we put it in chains or do we put them in rope?
I don't think we did anything yet.
Ooh, we might want to consider putting them in some sort of thing like that.
chains, and make sure she's kept under guard, supervision.
Yeah. Look, I'm just putting this out there. I come from a nation of beautiful poets and artists, and feared and hated warlords. I know what it's like to fight a battle and think you're losing your heart and soul. I know I have no place to tell you, my friends, my compatriots, my travel companions, my partners in religion, what to do. But be careful when fighting a war that you lose the part of yourself that you're fighting it for. Or else what are you when you win?
Ilona is going to go over to the body of Gebzebel and start collecting some of the things that are spilling from his robes.
Awesome. You find 5 different documents on his body. Some of them are a little bit bloodstained from the arrows perforating his form. If you want to, on a scale of 1 to 5, you can tell me which one you want to look at right now.
I don't want to look at any right now. I just want to take them off of his person because my plan is then I would like to see if I can perform any what I would consider last rites for him and the fallen soldiers.
Absolutely. So, now you know, the orcs of this world worship Gorm, the father of scars, the first green, the god that gave them the strength. I'm sorry, let me rephrase this. His first tenet, I gave you the will to be uncivil and the strength to protect that. So they have a very specific religious mindset here. Also, the second tenet, I believe, according to the tenet of Gorm, is that prayer is a fool's folly, and therefore I will not subject you to stupidity and will not answer your prayers. So, if you wish to give them last rites, the question is, Do you try to figure out how to do it in a way that would make Gorm and orcs happy? Or do you do it in a way that's accustomed to Aphra, the goddess of healing, redemption, light, forgiveness?
Mm. Oh, religion's so tricky. Oh, um, uh, uh, considering that the rest of the orcs follow Gorm, I don't really know how Geb-Zebel felt about Gorm, considering he was a disembodied orc and therefore shunned from his own community. I would like to, with Geb-Zebel, I would like to do traditions according to Aphra, and for the rest of the orcs, traditions according to Gorm,
Okay.
if that's possible.
Absolutely. Give me give me 2 religion checks. The first religion check is to kind of figure out how you can make a ceremony for Gorm.
Okay. The first one is a 19, and
Good.
the second one is a 22.
Cool. So you're trying to figure out, knowing what little you know about the culture of orcs, and what you're kind of starting to learn is how each tribe handles this culture a little differently.
Mhm.
The best thing you can figure out is the most efficient and direct process of removing the bodies, like respectfully getting them gone. Um, the other role, why don't you move through your process with whatever ritual you want to do for Geb-Zebel and or the orcs, and I'll tell you what that roll's for after you roll it.
Okay, so I'm going to need everybody's help for this. We need to get these bodies out of the city streets. I know you literally just put away your bear form, Woodwort, but my thought is get the bodies all in one place. Since Gorm doesn't want prayers or any form of last rites, they did what they needed to do and they died in chaos. So that's the best way for them to die. The most we can do is just get them out of the city so they are not desecrated in any way if anyone wants to take out vengeance on them after they've already died. As for Geb-Zebel, um, I would like to not necessarily bury him, but I would like to burn him.
Okay. The town, first of all, the town is ecstatic. The fact that they have survived. Um, the elven clerics of the Faelvanane gods, as well as the rather large-tummied cleric who has this battle kilt and big shield and a shillelagh, is just like shouting that there's going to be a ceremony, a celebration later. But once they hear you talking about getting rid of the bodies, they quickly kind of start getting people into place and start moving the forms as fast as they can with regards to respect for the orcs. One of the clerics, the one with the drumsticks, Axid, she looks at the body, she pulls out the drumstick, she starts kind of picking at her like kick-ass like afro mohawk that she's got, and she's just kind of scratching it. She goes, and she starts just playing this awesome drum solo. Drums nowhere, but you can hear this like drum kit, and that's just fire bursts out of nowhere around the form of Geb-Zebel, and then she suddenly just hits the hi-hat, drops 2 basses, and then starts doing this really like rhythmic, slow, mournful kind of dirge drum. You kind of get the feeling that this would have been a ceremonial kind of drum line for orcish people, maybe coming back from war. You know, someone's born, someone dies. It's all kind of the same song. And as she's doing it, the body starts to erupt into flames, and you suddenly see what appears to be almost like a vision in between visions through the crackling shift of the fire, a crystal with 2 eyes in it, looking down at Geb, looking up at you. And you can kind of see for a second the crystal starts to glow a little bit brighter as the fire consumes his form. And the crystal looks at you. And the eyes fade from the crystal. And the crystal vanishes. That religion check that you made previously, the other one, the 22, 21,
22.
you recognize this as the face of Isix, the god of magic.
Okay. As the fire, first of all, I took everything off of his body, right?
What you took away all the papers. I don't know about his
Okay.
clothes or anything else. You want to leave the clothes on? That's totally fine.
Yep. Leave clothes. Leave clothes are fine. I would like to use whatever little bit of magic I have to grow a passion flower out of the flames.
Okay. Give me one last religion check.
That is that's a 17.
The ash starts to, like a mound, start to kind of vibrate and shift, and starts to separate, growing out of the ash of his body. You see a young passion flower. It is not made of magic. It is not bright and shiny. It's not pure light. It is a real passion flower growing out of his ash and through the cracks in the city street.
Okay, I'm done here. Retroactively, I did grab the wine. I swear to God.
Thank God. Thank God.
Please. I
We're
got the
like-
papers and the wine.
I think everybody saw that. And
Yeah,
was like,
yeah, everyone's
Oh.
face on stream immediately changes to ooh. As soon as it comes across our chat.
PJ,
About the
I'll-
wine?
PJ,
Yeah.
wondering while Alona's doing the funeral rites,
Mhm.
could Rufa be doing actually something else?
Well, what do you want to be doing?
He's directing the town soldiers or whoever is to, put the orc captain in chains, our prisoner in chains, and escort her to somewhere secure, and so with guards watching her at all times.
Yeah, give me a simple diplomacy check with a +2.
Shionobis is probably just sitting on the docks looking at the water.
Okay.
Not around everyone, just so.
Give me a perception check.
I
three?
don't like that.
So before we get the perception check from Kylie, what was your diplomacy check?
I said 23.
23. Apologies, didn't hear that. So 23. The town kind of looks around going, we don't really have a guard. We don't really have any sort of police or military. Everyone that basically came out here for the fight is mostly townsfolk would like to fight, as well as people from the church that know how. So, I mean, you there, put this person in chains. No, I'll do it. Bloody hell. And they walk over and they start like tying like rope and leather straps and metal chains. And they pick them. They pick up Captain Metazong and they're like, we'll go throw him in the jail. Which is
Jail?
not here. It's a bar. We're going to throw her in the Green Tavern in the back.
A town this size has no jail?
Look, we've been working our bloody arses off for like somewhat 200 years building this damn place. We didn't have time for a jail, not to mention we have a very small centralized population. We're not exactly teeming with thieves and cowards and vagrants. It's most just people who work here and live here and buy things.
Well, make sure she is under watch by at least 3 guards at all times, just in case. We don't want something else to happen.
All right. Hey, can we put them in the back room? right of your tavern. You hear his voice going, sure, the place is not being used anymore, so go right ahead, put them in the back room. And they take the pirate lady away, and they put them in the back room where Shionibus first met Gab Zebel.
So that's at the Type and Pint.
Uh-huh.
So effectively, that back room, because other people know it, is useless to be hidden.
Yeah.
If they already know, if those two guys already know to stick them back in a hidden room, it's no longer a hidden room. Okay.
Rufa's gonna look over at Itchy and just goes, "They have no jail."
Well, it's sometimes restorative justice is a good option for managing your criminal population. It can be difficult to implement in a lot of larger communities, but around here, if it works for them, that's great.
Well, considering they have the Coliseum and bards, and you would think
might-
someone would get rowdy and something would happen.
They probably just fight it out.
Yeah, it looks like their community is actually pretty good at taking care of themselves. Looking at the people that fought on our side when the invaders came in, so they're doing pretty okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, once Chester builds a bridge here and we have our 6th district lined up, I mean, we're going to have to get a meeting together and actually give it a title that's worthy of a grip upon a bear. Chester's just a bloke that made it. But yeah, I mean, when Chester grows and then the 2 other projects grow from there, who knows? Maybe eventually we'll start being so famous, we'll start having crime. But until then, really, we just let blokes go outside and deal with it themselves. Not our business.
I love that.
I like this place.
This is the most chaotic city we've ever been to, besides Molly Moss.
Yeah, but
was
they
gonna
seem to
say.
have it together.
They do. It's good chaos. Yeah.
Rufa's gonna be that one certain meme about the man that only punches once. Just goes, okay.
Sure. All right, so they take Matazong into the back room of the Type and Pint. The 2 elven clerics, the larger man with the shields, the battle kilt, and the shillelagh, who's also wearing a matching 3-leer holy symbol on his vestments, say that there's going to be a party when the sun goes down. So do whatever you gotta do. But if you want to have a good old shindig, we're going to be taking up the entire market district. We already have the bands picked out, and half the town's coming out with their best meats and cheeses and alcohol. And he says, and good news, there's going to be a full moon tonight. You know what that means. And the guy's like, love is in the air. Yeah.
What?
Love, sorry, love is in the air. Yeah.
Love?
Yeah, love. Whenever there's a full moon over the 2 rivers crossing, that's when love is there for talking and caressing. You don't. She doesn't know the ballads. We have to teach her the ballads.
Rufa kind of says to nobody in particular, "What I hope it's not catching."
Oh god. Ilona is going to actually, I don't know what everyone else is doing, but Ilona is actually going to head to the Type and Pint following Matazong, and she's gonna go over these papers that
Rufa's gonna follow.
I will also attend since I speak some useful languages that might
Yeah.
come in handy.
Honestly, a bar at this point is the best place to start the celebrations of tonight's party, so we might as well head there first.
Okay.
Ilona also hands Shionibus her wine.
Thanks. She doesn't say it like that, but I do.
You find that only a few nips have been taken from the neck. The meat of the bottle is still intact. So there's a lot left.
Oh, did you want my perception check?
Yes. What was that perception check? Oh, yeah, because you're at the
20.
docks.
Yeah, 25.
25.
Oh, so
Delicious.
just kidding. Your
So-
wine isn't there. I
Oh, man.
I keep the wine to give to Shionibus later.
So, Shionibus, as you're sitting by the dock of the bay, watching the Blue Orcs swim away, because whatever swim works around the boat had to jump ship, and they're just booking it. And of course, from you can tell from their body language that they can probably swim 12 hours straight and not need rest. You look into the water. You see something shining in the water. But it's a very familiar shine, a very familiar color. You see the same blue metal that Lyrian Voss's axe is made out of, resting in the port of this city.
I jump into that water so fast.
Okay. Are you swimming down to the blue metal?
How far down is it?
I mean, it's within eyesight, but you're an elf, so that means nothing.
Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just go.
All right, give me athletics checks. We're going for a swim.
Is everybody else around when she just takes a dip?
To my knowledge, no. No one went to the
Okay.
port, just her.
Natural 20.
Oh, first nat 20 of the night.
Which
All
makes
right.
it a 25, if that matters.
The holy sound of the crit 20 goes off. You are just booking it. Whether it's adrenaline or the fact that you're just basically an immortal or what, but you're able to get there no problem. You get there and you see this like massive crop of this jagged blue metal that just pokes out almost like a crystal, but when you touch it, it has every feeling of a metallic alloy. And what do you do now that you're near it?
Am I able to like reach out and touch it?
You can try.
I'm gonna get out my sword, and am I able to try to chip a piece off?
You're going to be there for a while.
Oh no. Then we're just gonna go and touch it.
All right. You touch it. Give me
Oh no.
a will save.
Oh no. I've made many mistakes.
Many mistakes.
I'm gonna use a hero point right off the bat.
Do it.
Because that was a 4. Oh, that wasn't. That was a 5.
All right.
Which
Let's
makes it. Hold on. That was on the die phase, which makes
Okay.
it a 15.
I mean, that's still really good. Okay. So you put your hand on it. The first thing you feel is that it has the exact same feeling, density, tactile texture as steel in every way. And the more you start touching it, the more you start to feel it soften and warm like human flesh. And once it gets that kind of unusual human flesh feeling, you can feel it quivering like it's like a scared chihuahua, just like, Once that happens, everything goes pitch black.
Oh no.
And you hear a voice start talking to you. Why are you touching my children? Better question. Why are you down here in my realm? Second, third. Let's go with third question. What abomination are you going to do with my children like that idiot did with the last one?
I'm so sorry. I just saw something that looked really familiar to something a friend has, and I was genuinely curious. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna go swim back up. You said realm?
Yes, I'm sorry. You don't have to leave. In fact, I'm not letting you leave right now. No, you see, a long time ago, that idiot Seawolf took some of my children from me. No one's supposed to know my children are here. I've been trying to hide them because, let's be honest, I'm not really a proud papa about this. But I'm going to need to make sure that you're not going to walk away with more of that blue stuff because that's all I have left. And honestly, the water is very, very deep. You start to see forming in front of you this man made entirely out of water, this crown made out of similar blue metal you see all around you, wielding a scimitar and a harpoon. And he looks to you and he says, listen, I get it. You saw something shiny, you jumped in. But there are things here that you have no idea you're messing with. And there are things even further down that I hope you never have to meet.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I didn't plan on leaving with any of it, so I'm just gonna head back to my realm.
Give me a fortitude saving throw.
Oh no. That is a dirty 20.
20. You start feeling, for some strange reason, as you're having a full conversation with this guy, your chest is burning.
Shoot.
Your legs are getting extremely tired, and you start feeling dehydrated. And then the voice continues, listen. I'm going to tell you about me. I don't get to meet too many people. My name is Half. I'm God of the Sea. You've probably met my wife. Nadir. I love her to death. I miss her so much. Do you know how proud I am of her? I'm so proud of her. She is amazing. When she came down to earth and she figured out who she was, God, she was beautiful, still is beautiful. I love her deer. I love it when they lap up my blues. Love it. This rock that you're touching, and I hate to say this, I don't want to be mean, that's a mistake. See, right now is draining the water from your body. It's dehydrating you in the middle of the sea. Ironic. I know. Sorry. Desperate times, desperate measures. But what I want you to understand is that there are things down here you shouldn't be messing with. And I hate to be rude, but honestly, I'm all alone. That's all I got. So please, don't die. But you might want to try and fight this illusion because you are dying.
Oh god. So she's not gonna say anything else? I feel like I'm just incriminating myself with this. God. Is there any way? Is she still like technically in water?
You are deep in the ocean at this point.
Is there anything below me?
More ocean.
No.
And I will say that as you look down, there's blue, crystal blue all around you, but everything below you is pitch black like the night sky. And Half, the god of the water, is sitting there. And he's like, you have no idea what I've been putting up with for eons. I'm telling you, you don't want to go in the water. It's a bad move, my dude.
Yeah, I don't understand why my friend liked it. She's just gonna
Give me one last fortitude save.
I'm gonna cry. That's a 10. I'm gonna put that dice in jail.
PJ, you said immortal, right?
Not invulnerable.
Okay.
Oh god.
No one knows you're there.
Nope.
Yeah. Remember the
Nope.
buddy system. Okay. So Half looks at you one more time. He goes, listen, this blue rock, this blue metal I've made, supposed to be my son. Didn't quite work out too well. That's why when your Sea Wolf friend took something called a Halfson, I took it kind of personally. Oh, that's not a good look. So listen, I'm gonna probably pay him back one. I don't like killing. Not a thing. I've been in a war by myself and every sea creature in the planet for the past millennia. But I'm not afraid to spit an elven body upon a ship. Because people, I don't think, respect me. They take my fish, they ride at me with their boats. Maybe I gotta put some of y'all on notice. Give me one more willpower save.
Oh god.
Please, God, please.
My stress, because I'm stressed. That is gonna be a dirty 20.
You had 48 seconds until you drowned to death.
Oh god.
I just stopped the clock. You had 48 seconds left. You suddenly, as you kind of come out of this dream state, and the rock is literally like moving away from you, like it's terrified of you. Give me an athletics check with a -1 to get the hell out of the ocean.
That's not one.
Net.
Why do all my dice hate me tonight? This is the third time I've changed dice tonight.
You start trying to swim, but your legs are dehydrated from touching the blue rock. Your mind is kind of numb and your lungs are burning out. Give me one last fortitude save, and I'm being generous.
We have a Pengu in the chat donating their hero point. Because we all knew Pengu Chan has a hero point.
That's right. She got
It is
a hero
canon.
point. Yes.
I
And she did not give it to anyone last game. I will, you know what? I'm going to make a DM check. No, I'm just going to be a good GM. You have Pengu Chan's hero point. I never thought I'd say that out loud.
20.
Don't.
Yes.
Nat 20?
It was blessed.
It was blessed. Pengu and chat blessed this roll.
Oh my God.
You did it.
Okay, everybody else in chat, save those up for the next time she goes up a ladder.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I'm really disappointed that the rest of the party hasn't noticed that I'm gone.
You
They're like,
disappear
"Oh,
all
it's
the
fine."
time.
You brood and skulk.
Yeah.
You're always off in our peripheral. I'm sorry we
Yeah.
didn't notice you.
Just figure you're drinking your
become
wine in the
normal.
corner.
The norm.
Yeah.
Like, no,
also-
she'll be fine. She's
also who-
immortal.
I'm wondering if PJ is also imagining the Sonic drowning sound music.
Don't give me those flashbacks. I hate you for that. I hate you. You lose a hero point. You lose one. Okay, so I'm sorry. Sonic 2's water level can get bent. Anyway, Shonibus, your legs start trying to thrash. Your muscles feel dry, sticky. You can feel them just not working, and cramps are starting to swell. Your chest is starting to burn as your lungs are now fully depleted of oxygen and the blood is starting to thin. Everything is starting to get a little dark as you are kicking with all of your willpower and might. In the back of your head, you can hear the warrior chants, the battle cries, the prayers, and you're even starting to see a candle flicker into light and a scale come into view as you're swimming with all your power. And then suddenly, breaking the veil of this inevitable darkness, you hear "Rock!" as a penguin just comes into view. And as the penguin comes into view, it looks at you like, yes, "Rock! Follow me. I know the things of the water, for I am a penguin." And it just leads you, takes your hand like some angel, like some celestial bird. And before you know it, your face crests the water of the port, to which a few of the dock guards are there going, "We have a swimmer." But the penguin is nowhere to be seen.
Pengu Chan is canon.
Guys, I just made so many noises I had to mute. Like,
I'm gonna say this: Reap Psyche never donate a hero point. Never. Okay, because I just
Also,
thought I was like,
PJ
thank you, great, I'm with you. Reap Psyche, no, no.
PJ,
A
Thank
Reaper
you,
comes
but-
out, take my
Yeah.
hand, bud.
Thank you,
What-
but no.
What could happen? What could happen?
PJ,
Yeah.
Pengu just reminded me something too. The
Yeah.
name that I wrote down, was somewhere. The envelope is here somewhere. I'm trying to find it, but yeah, it had Kylie's name on it, who I predicted would need the hero point.
Oh my god.
Hold up. I didn't use the hero point. PJ asked me to roll one more fortitude save, and that was my roll. So I did not use this hero
Alright.
point.
I'm sticking by my guns. That's exactly what you saw. That's what happened.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely.
That's exactly what's happening. Penguin saved you. Pengu Chan is now giving the hero point to Michael. So you get that point. But that being said,
Instantaneous shift. Fine, you don't use it. Michael gets it.
see if I ever save you from drowning again. Okay, so
Love it.
Michael plays with it. The dog gets it. If the dog plays with it, Michael gets it back.
So, Shonibus, you are dragged out of the sea by the local dock guards, who are untouched. They let the orcs through. But you now know that the Hafsen, the magical axe that the sea wolf made, came from rock found in this town, and a magical rock that Half himself is like, I made this, and I don't want anyone to ever touch this ever again. So of course, Larry Voss was like, guess what? I'm touching it. That's what happens when your mom is who she is. And go check out on YouTube the one-shot Journey to the North. Anyway, no more Sunset.
Oh, poor. I
Uh,
feel bad for the fleshy water rock baby.
right? but also I almost just died. So like not that bad.
I would have felt worse if it had anything other than the name Fleshy Water Rock Baby.
Yeah, that doesn't sound cute. That's not a good look.
Sidebar, now I really want to play a penguin-based Tengu. I think I was playing a Tengu in that one shot.
Daltonshire, yeah.
That's a really good idea.
No, I believe you played a rat folk in the Journey North. You're a rat folk cleric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, don't worry. We're going to be having Ra's Rave Party on Saturday, and we're going to be having the Night Witches in March, and we're going to have so many more one-shot opportunities for y'all to make whatever crazy madness you want to make, including a Tengu. So, without further ado, we're going to cut back to so Shunbas, you're fine. You're a little tired, but you're okay. A little scared, a little rattled. But you got that sweet Nubian wine. Moving over to the 4 people in the type and pint. The 2 throw Matazong in the back room and make sure that the bindings they've kind of jury rigged are tying her firmly to a really nice chair. To which once you guys move into the room with Matazong, or do you guys wait? What's your plan?
I'm going to go into the room with Matazong, so someone is there when she maybe wakes up. That's my initial thought. Just in case, because leaving a pirate tied with a rope to a chair alone in a room sounds like not the greatest idea. So I'm going to stay there for the time being, and maybe I'll change my mind, but I'll be there for now.
Would you mind if Rufa follows?
Oh, please join me.
Okay. He's just gonna kind of set a chair to the side of the room, just kind of sits there and opens a book, just starts reading.
All right, so you guys in the room. What about Sam and what about Ian? Where are you guys in the typing pint?
Ichi will look at Woodward, say, well, what do we do now?
Well, if my history of bars is anything to speak for what may be in this one, I'm going to ask the guy behind it if he has a set of handcuffs. But then I figure if we get that set up, then we've contributed, and then we can come back out here for drinks.
Good idea.
Woodward, give me a diplomacy check.
Great. Diplomacy, charisma. I got a 19.
Hell yeah. So so the bartender looks at you and he goes, all right, mate, listen, the bar doesn't have handcuffs. Reaches on the table, but I do. Here's my personal manacles. Be very careful. I have the key on me. It's here in my pocket. Just if you need it, come get it. Just please don't break it. All right. It's my favorite pair.
Ichi's gonna observe. Are they fluffy?
They are personal.
They are not fluffy. However, you notice around where the wrist of the manacles would be is kind of a soft leather.
She just like kind of gives a little touch. She's like, gentle.
And he just goes, listen, I would love to tell you more, but unfortunately, I'm on the clock and I have a feeling you have some work to do. So why don't you go, come back, have a pint, and we'll talk about it then, eh?
Absolutely.
Woodward without missing a beat is like, oh, these look real nice. I mean, I was trying to be nice as Anakin, but I mean, overall, if you got to lock somebody up, you know, you don't have to torture them with the metal cuffs on their wrists. So I think these are great. I don't see a single problem with them. And just starts walking towards the back of the bar.
You hear one of the other bartenders just kind of start slapping him with one of the rags. He goes, you gave him the good pair? Won't they ask for it? I'm sorry.
Woodward walks into the room and immediately hands the cuffs to Rufa. And I was trying to figure out who I wanted to see this scene with. Hands it over to Rufa. Says, hey, look, I got these from the bartender. He has the key, which probably makes it good in case Zebel or anyone else around him knows any of the magic of making us blank out or whatever. At least we don't have the key in this room. Ichi and I have now contributed, and we're going to go get a drink.
Rufa looks at the manacles. Thank you, friend Woodward. Nice leather. Very nice indeed.
Yeah,
Yes.
Ichi seemed to know something about it.
Yes, you and Ichi, go and enjoy yourselves. This, considering how it goes, could be all nighter.
Ichi, do you want to drink? Or you know what? I never asked. Do you want to drink or do you want to stay in
Oh.
here?
No, absolutely. Let's go.
Okay, great, cool. Yeah, see you guys later. Have fun with that.
Lufa's gonna call. Don't do anything Lufa wouldn't do.
Never.
And also out of character, like set a fire.
Ichi like pulls her lighter up. She's like, never.
I love this. So rock and roll. So you guys are drinking. Tobias and Morel and Heron and Sidney are joining you in the bar. Heron and Sidney are drinking with the locals. They're kind of doing what they call the 1-2, where like they kind of like butter people up and do a business thing. Like want to be like, hey, what's up? Ha! Like, and Sidney drinks from the table, and then Heron's like, like we should like work together and fight bad guys for money. Hell yeah! And they're having a great time doing their business. Morel is like, I'll just have a water. Water's fine. I hear there's a party later. I'll drink with the parties there. Oh, do I still have my party clothes? I think I do. Meanwhile, Tobias is like a little in the cups already. And he goes, "Hey, listen, you there. What is your name? That sounds like a lovely name. Listen, my name is Tobias Raphaelis of House Raphaelis, Grand Hospitaller of the Platinum Hammer. That's right. It's a mouthful."
Tobias, look, just get off your knee. We don't need to do this again. I'm sorry, bud, but just go ahead and sit down on your stool, and then we'll get everyone else a drink. It'll be okay.
All right, fine. I'll tell you what. Listen, listen. I'm gonna go back to church. If you need me, I'll be at church.
This sounds like a horrible time to go do that, bud. I'm just gonna put this one out there. I don't know much about the gods, but Alona doesn't get drunk and then go to church.
Then she's doing it wrong, my friend. Church is better when you have at least a few cups in your body. I'll see you guys at the party.
You should
Bye-bye.
show Hera church. I bet Hera would like church. Hera, where are you?
What? Hera's like in the middle of like arm wrestling two dudes at once, and she's like, "What? I mean, I'm not really I'm not a church. I don't want to like later. Whatever. Like go to church later. It's whatever. No big deal. I don't care. Best 3 out of 5. I was distracted.
Ichi will like kind of look and be like, I tried. And then get her drink from the bar.
Tobias leaves, and you can see Hera is just like really mad now at herself, and she's just like owning dudes and arm wrestling, just like getting it out of her system. And Tigany's like, haha, you're mad, I can tell. And she's like, shut up. Bam. So do you guys have any other plans you want to do for this little drinking soiree? Anything specifically you want to do in this downtime action?
I want to chat with Woodward and just find like a corner and just have our drinks. Say, so
All right.
Woodward, I don't know too much about your background. You come from a war background? Is this normal for you?
No, I don't really, well, there's fights in nature and you see them, but I'm not exactly one of the fighters. I'm more one of the runners or get away from the situation. I'm not really into the whole, the flight part is what I focus on. But no, I'm not really used to wars. I've seen their aftermath. That's kind of what I'm basing my my situation, like situational. I don't know. How about you? I mean, you've seen a lot of fights. I feel like you may know a thing or two about what we're doing here.
Yeah. I mean, fights are one thing, usually you've got a personality you're against, whether they're going to throw the match or you know, they're the bad guy, you're the bad guy. It changes depending on where your show is. It's different though. There's a war in Asmacon. It's different from this. And just, you know, hearing what was said about the other side trying to run away, I guess sometimes it isn't as black and white as I thought. It's a lot to think about, and sometimes I just wish my uncle was here. He would know what to say about this.
Well, I mean, okay. I definitely operate inside of a black and white look at things. It's what keeps your balance. I'm not saying it's the best way. It's just the way I walk, the best way I see my life. But I go by the laws that I see around me, the laws of nature, being a druid and all. I think that a lot of things run away to eventually die. I know that sounds horrible. And I don't think it fits into every single step of life or walk of life. I'm not saying I'd say this is okay in every other situation. But sometimes you lose a fight. And that's just what it is. If I'm not mistaken, from what I saw from the one time I've seen you in the ring, your opponent is down and out on the mat, right? But you still got to pin him. I'm not saying it's that easy to take a life. I'm not saying that what the call I made was right. It's just when it comes to things like this, you're either walking away from it or not at times.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point. I guess it comes down to if one side's going to destroy the other, you've got to do something about that to protect the people you care about.
I mean, that's it. It's just there's no good way to go about this. And honestly, I wish your uncle was here too. There's a lot of people who listen to him, and he seemed to make the right choice when he had to. He wasn't always a man at the center of attention, but when he was, he made it matter. So, yeah, I'd love it if he were here too. But the thing is he kind of is. You're here. He taught you how to fight. He taught a part of you. So the calls you make out there, speak up. If we should have let him go, we should have let him go. We should have captured more people. We can talk about it and do that. I made a call. I don't think it's a bad thing, but it's a hard thing. A hard thing to make a call on. If anybody else like your uncle made that call, I would have been happy to hear it.
She kind of like looks into her drink and downs it thoughtfully, looks back at Woodward. You know, thanks. That's some good insight. I guess I've just always thought of myself as a performer. And I guess it's hard to start thinking of myself as a hero instead. So, should I buy you another round?
Well, I mean, if we're going to go back and forth at this point, then I'll have to buy you one, and it sounds like we're going to make a night of it. So let's chat this out and have another drink.
I'd like that.
I'm gonna switch. By the way, does anyone have anything else you want to do in this scene? I don't want to cut it off too short. I apologize. Good.
We good.
Okay. We're gonna change now to the interrogation of Matazong. And for that amazing scene, I want to reward you both with a hero point. And as you grip your cup and drink a little bit of it, you can't help but feel this kind of glitter in the back of your head as you hear your uncle's voice just go, Mi sobrina, I'm so proud of you. Cut to the back room with a closed door. Because of the lock mechanism, it's kind of soundproof, which I guess ideally is what you want in this case. We have one Rufa, one Captain Matazong, now handcuffed to her chair, and Ilona. Tobias is at church, drunk as a skunk, like he prefers, I guess. Morel is drinking water at a bar. Heron and Sidney are arm wrestling dudes and trying to make contracts for mercenary work. What do you guys say to Matazong as you see her slowly come to?
Ilona is going to look to Rufa and whisper to him as she's stirring. Have you done this before?
Rufa just looks over at Ilona. Doesn't say anything, just nods. BJ, is there like a table or anything like that in the room?
There's at least 2 round circular wooden tables.
Rufa just looks over at Ilona, nods, and doesn't even say anything, goes over to one of the tables, picks it up, sets it in front of you just said her name, I'm blanking already.
Matazong.
Matazong, yeah. Set the table in front of her, puts a chair on the opposite end, and just looks over at Ilona and gestures her to the free chair.
Ilona's going to sit down at the chair. Visibly unsettled, even though she's trying to do her best to keep a calm composure.
Matazong, now in the room. Let me confirm really fast. So you moved a table closer to her, correct? Closer to Captain Matazong.
Yeah.
So you could okay.
Yeah, basically, in any of those cop shows, you have the table, one person's on one side, another person.
Yeah,
yeah,
got it. The good old cop interrogation table.
Yeah. And Rufa's gonna kind of just go over against the wall and just kind of just leans there with his book in his hand.
This good cop, bad cop.
All right, hold on.
No.
I got my hands behind my back. Here we go. Okay. So Matazong starts to wake up. As she kind of like grimaces and kind of bares her fangs, you can see a few of well, I think one of her gold teeth has been knocked out recently.
That's right. You lost a tooth because of my fist.
That's right. And I believe it was said by the chat that it's been turned into a gift for Sidney's character, Ilona. But you still see at least one gold fang still kind of in there at a weird angle.
Little FYI, I'm working on something and I just ordered something after the last week.
What? All right. So as she grimaces, one tooth is missing, but one golden tooth is kind of cockeyed. And she says, you decided to keep me alive. I have a mind to ask why.
Because you are a high-ranking general now in the Green Army, and we would like to ask you a couple questions.
Oh, paperwork ain't signed yet. I a general of nothing but me and mine on my boat. And last I checked from the big, thick plumes of smoke coming across the horizon, I have no boat. I'm the captain of nothing, and I'm the general of no one.
We can confirm that your ship was another casualty of the battle that you initiated on the town.
More like sieging, pillaging, or trying to find a place to call home.
Rufa's gonna really quickly interrupt, or at least it was. Afraid, you are no longer the captain, at least in nautical terms.
All right, fine. Then don't call me by my title. Call me by my name. I was born with it, or die with it. Seems fair to go by it.
What is your name?
You can call me Front Admiral Bezing Matazong of the Blue Rock Merchantary Armada. When me on the water, I command 9 ships. And as of today, I spent over 3 months attacking the islands behind the Great Divide. Koroko, so impressed was he with I, that I was paid good money, and even better promise, to join the army whole and destroy your coasts to coasts.
Rufa's gonna quickly interrupt, and he's not looking up at all from his book. Well, that didn't pan out exactly how you were hoping, did it?
You don't know how this works, do you? I'm a military ranking officer. You know what happens when you kill me? They make a new one. So what? You spill me blood and guts on the floor. I don't care. They'll just put some other poor bloke in charge. Someone who's wise. Someone who's ferocious.
We have
What?
no desire to kill you.
Oh, then you're wasting your time then, lass.
No, we.
Are you saying that you would rather?
What? Say it. Say it!
Rufa?
Rufa's just gonna look. Oh, killing you. How gauche. Oh, we. Very gauche. Too simple. Too simple.
Ugh. All right, let me guess. The passive aggressive one over there reading the book, he's going to be the bad guy. And the shaky little Bambi deer over there, she's going to be the good guy. You're going to butter me up. You're going to smack me hard. One or the other, I'm going to lose another tooth. Are you going to ask me your questions? Is that what I have to look forward to the next 3 hours? Because really, you'd be better off doing me a large favor and giving me a second grin below the chin. I would really appreciate it.
No.
Oh, so you're the bad one now. Listen, mate, you there with the book? You better stop flipping. I think she's becoming the bad one. Oh.
Children, let us all play nice now.
Alona is going to stand from the table and she's going to move her chair right next to Matazon. She's going to stare her right in the eyes. I may not look like much, and I may have a lot to learn, but I can guarantee you that I will absolutely get all the information that I need out of you because you are going to listen to me. Would you like to know why?
I am dying to hear.
Because out of everyone in your life, when it comes to Korkos, when it comes to your birth, right, your parents, your crew, out of everyone that you have ever met, I probably care about you the most. I had jurisdiction over your life and I chose to spare it because I saw something in you that was really intriguing to me. And I just wanted you to know that no matter what you do, I see something in you that is 100% unique and powerful. And I want to get whatever I can from you because I would like to learn from you.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Yeah, okay.
And while you do that, I'll be right back. In the meantime, go ahead. Like,
Oh, it's a
connive
nat
amongst
20!
yourselves. Oh my
It's a
god, a
nat
nat 20? Okay, give me like 5 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay. Because I just came up with that off the top of my head.
Alona is hitting people with words instead of fists is what I'm gathering.
That's the goal. But
her
I mean,
fists, her fists are non-lethal, but her words. You know.
Her words, on
Yeah.
the other hand.
You need to
That's
twist
great.
you need to twist everything that we learned from Geb Zebel here on out. Of the pen being mightier than the sword. Just
Yeah,
keep running
man.
with it.
I mean, listen, I could hit her and it would not do anything. It would just hurt and be annoying. Or I could talk to her in positive light, because maybe that works. Positive reinforcement works with some people, especially those who probably had a really rough go of it.
Or I was gonna say, just leave her alone with Rufa for 10 minutes.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that though.
No. The
Yeah,
last
forget
time
good
that we
cop,
left
bad
Roof
cop.
alone, there was fire.
So
There
much
was a
fire.
fire.
Oh, we got a raid.
Yeah, Raiders.
Ooh.
Tabletop rolls. Hi, Raiders. We are not about
Oh.
to set something on fire, but
Not
if you're
yet.
unfamiliar with the show, there's a good chance it will happen sometime this episode.
It's not the plan.
Oh my gosh.
Effie Burton,
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much.
That's so nice.
you're the best. Thanks, Tabletop Rolls. Our game is going really well. We're interrogating a general from the Blue Rock Orc Tribe Mariners. She's
Some
a
of
cop.
us are.
Yeah.
The rest of us are
Denise
shrinking.
character is the good cop, and Rufa's the I don't know cop.
I don't know. The lines are getting crossed here, y'all.
That's what makes for the best good cop, bad cop. When the interrogatee can't decide who's who.
That's one of the
So the Nat 20, because that's where we left off. Also, huge shout out to Effie Burton. Just saw that in the chat. Thank you so much. And the raid. Thank you, Tabletop Rolls, for that raid. Awesome to have you here.
I feel like every time you get up, we get a raid. So
Yeah.
just think that over. Maybe you should do it more.
I should just be doing squats all the time.
Yeah.
So as you're sitting here with this orcish pirate captain, and you rolled a nat 20 on that diplomacy check, two things happen. One, you remember that you have a buttload of Geb Zebel's paperwork, and that Geb Zebel was the guy in charge of diplomatic relations with basically everyone, including the Blue Rock tribe, of which he was trying to have join the military, join the Grand Green Army. So there's probably something in his notes that may be interesting about this situation. Secondly, you see Matazong start to kind of get resentful as she starts kind of just spewing her resume and her pedigree at you, like, how dare you try to sit here and ask me what you look up to me? You don't even know me, lass. You don't know that by the 5 captains I had to slaughter on my own boat to get to my position. You don't know about the years I spent at sea, never seeing land, because I had to take from everyone on the ocean. You have no idea about the tactics I've had to employ against those beyond the Great Divide and the people I've seen there. Have you been to the Great Divide? Do you know that dragons live there? Do you have any idea what the water is like in a place where the gods that they worship breathe fire and breathe oceans dry? Do you have any idea what it's like to know about the pirate cities that constantly flood these oceans and being on full alert and then juggling 10 boats at one time? Lass, I tell you right now, you want to be like me. You don't have enough blood in your knuckles, enough caked flesh in your fingernails, and you sure as shit don't have enough ropes in your elbows to be me. You best start doing push-ups, lassie. You're going to have to get a lot stronger.
Rufa's just gonna kind of not his eyes still not looking up. If we didn't know, we certainly do now.
Oh. And then she looks at you. She looks at you, the captain. Hero point, by the way. She looks at you and she says, "Oh, you're the passive aggressive one, that's for sure."
Rufa's gonna just still not
He
looking
does
up.
have a point,
Oh,
though.
thank you. Rufa learned it from his mother.
Yeah. One of those families.
Oh, man.
Shade, just going left and right. So what were you saying, Alona?
I was just gonna say, you're doing nothing but proving my point.
What?
You have more stories inside of you than I have read in my entire library. You have more life experience than I have in my 2 months being out of the temple. You have so many stories to tell, and you've already lived so many lives. Why wouldn't I want to ask you questions?
If you want to read my biography, you better keep my hands on my body or else I can't write for shit.
Alona is going to start sifting through some of the correspondence between the Blue Rock tribe and the Green Army. Yeah, the Blue Rock tribe mariners and the Green Army.
Okay. So you're looking through the things that Gebzebel had on his person. Give me a number between 1 through 5. You can either roll it or you can just shout it out loud.
I'm just gonna, well, I don't have a 5-sided dice, so we're gonna go with 2. 2, my lord! 2!
The number 2?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to copy and paste this and put this in a private message to you that you can then read out loud if you want to, or take a few seconds to read to yourself.
Read to myself. Okay, I shall.
All
Shall
right.
read it to myself, or read it out, loud.
I mean, either way, you can't go wrong.
I sure cannot. Come
Alona
on.
has a lot of experience reading to herself.
I sure done do.
Yep.
And reading to people out loud, like the
Yep.
children in the temple. I read to them. Yep. That's a thing
All
I
right.
did.
It's so funny you chose number 2. All right, so here you go. As you look through the papers, you find a book that seems a very small leather-bound book where the edges are very curled. It is stained with Zebel's blood, and it kind of has that musk and warmth of a book that's been close to someone's body right by their chest for a long time. You are looking at Gebzebel's personal diary.
Ilona is very visibly kind of unsettled by this, and she is going to ask Madazong one question before she reads this. So, you lived your life as a pirate on the seas, taking whatever you could, being powerful in every single way, living what you would consider the best life that you could. Why did you decide to join these people if your life was your own and you were as powerful as you say you were?
Give me a diplomacy check.
Oh, what's my modifier? What's my modifier? I forgot. That's like a 26.
Nice. So, firstly, she goes, no. I prefer the term warrior merchant, not pirate. Pirate steal. I kill. I make deals. Very different. Secondly, well, I guess you could say war takes from us all. There's good business to be had in it. And a good deal of death in too. And the waters, well, they're only an obstacle now. I've seen the red rocks fly. I've seen those cursed tongues speak words and teleport to places. 1 minute they're there, the next minute they're another bloody country. So, me start to thinking, if there's nothing left, then there's no one that could kill me people. There's absolutely no one that can make boats obsolete. There's no one that can take the waters from me. So, when a big bastard of a man comes walking in, promise me money, promise me food, promise me freedom. Hey, sounds good. Worst case, he's full of it. And we just do what we always do. And that's the best thing about paperwork, lass. There's always a fine print, and there's always a way for Captain Madazong to get out of it.
PJ, really quick. I was wondering, I know this is not how this feat works. Kinda, I have a feat called known weakness. I was wondering if I could attempt a recall knowledge check on on her real quick.
On her. What? No,
Like
but
pains and
what are you
aches.
trying to do with that? What are you trying to
Oh,
achieve with it?
I'm just setting up for something later. If something I could keep in my back pocket later, just any wounds, pains, aches, any stuff like that.
Okay. So what I'll let you do is I'll let you do a perception check or a medicine check with a +1 because this is related to the Green War to kind of Sherlock her Holmes a bit and figure out what's the hitch in the giddy up.
Okay, I'm gonna perception check that.
All right.
Hmm. There's nothing in this note necessarily
20.
about.
Oh, sorry.
You go ahead, Michael. Sorry about that.
I was gonna say 22.
22. We'll get that in just a second. Sidney, what were you saying?
There's nothing in this note necessarily about Madazong, but there are some really interesting things about Gebzebel.
Well, if you want to read it out loud, you can. If you want to read the other items, you can also do that as well.
I think I'm going to save this one for later. Can I read 3? I
Sure.
think I saw a 3 out there.
There's a 3 in the universe.
Hmm,
While
Um,
okay.
yeah.
You might like
As Sydney's gonna do that, could I have Roof just kind of just still once again still not looking up from his book and just says, "There is always someone bigger, someone stronger. It is the law of the world out there." Indeed.
So as you're looking Captain Matazong up and down, medically speaking, to better understand her physicality and things related, you see she has, of course, she's covered in scars,
Mhm.
as any warrior would be of the orc people. She's covered in scars. You can tell though that she's got a kind of displaced ring finger on her left hand. She has uh, it's very slight, but you can see that her left collarbone is just a little bit raised from the other one, telling you that there's probably a problem with her shoulder blades, that there probably was an injury that didn't heal right. You could tell from the way she's holding herself that she's got a bad right shoulder. And last but not least, you can see that one of her eyes seems to be light sensitive. It's the left one, probably from years of standing by battery guns and having powder irritate her eyeball.
Okay. Um, Really quick, just so I know, what are the light sources in the room?
Right now, you have mostly local lanterns, a lot of them creating ambient lighting, but nothing direct.
Okay. I was wondering as Sydney's kind of interrogating her and stuff. Rufus is gonna kind of take out one of his gold coins, stand by one of the lanterns, and start rolling it back and forth. But every once in a while, kind of just reflecting a light into that bad eye.
Oh.
Give me an intimidation check with a +1. Meanwhile, Sydney, do you want to read out loud what I sent you, or do you want to just kind of read it in quiet?
I mean, I just kind of want to read this out loud just for everybody because this is hilarious.
Oh, I'll let you know. I'm using a hero point. I
All
just
right.
rolled one.
Yeah,
Roll
you've
it
got
and hold,
penguins.
yeah, roll it and hold on to it. Yeah. Do you want to hold on? I have to give a hero point to Ian because I saw you, sir. I saw you in the chat going, "Dear diary, the other orcs are mean."
I'm sorry. I couldn't. As soon as you said it, I couldn't stop thinking about how angry he was. And he's like, "The pen is mightier than the sword." He's just crying over this book.
Okay. I'm also seeing people in chat asking us to read Gebzebel's diary. So I'm just gonna read both.
Okay.
I'll read Gebzebel's personal diary. It's actually written in common, so I don't need anyone else to translate for me, which is surprising and interesting that his diary was written in common. I am left to understand the matter of this war and my place in it all on my own. Disembodied is an odd term for an orc to call non-orcs, halves, humans, and failures alike. It strikes me odd because it tells me that all they trust, all they can control, All they work on is the physical aspects of this world. To have a mind for academia, to have no scars, possess magic that doesn't light a village on fire seems wasteful. It has no body. Yet they worship the very will and the blood that pumps in their hearts. Trying to explain this to them has yielded me no fruit. Accurate trajectory predicts it never will. I'm not given the surname of a family. I am Zebel as opposed to what? Zebelos? Isix take me if I am to be gifted the same lauded family title as Korokos. Korokos. What a stubborn, cold bastard of a monster he is. To think I shared visions of the future with him over drinks as barbaric as it was. It was most enlightening. I've studied my people's language, culture, religion, if you can call it that. However, I've failed my own academia and never tried to understand our psychology, or at least the spirit of the people. It strikes me as odd and almost the most diabolical paradise. Korokos and the orcs have always shared the concept of world peace through nothingness. In talks with Korokos, I've learned that Korokos, Blackspear tribe, and most likely all of orcdom constantly fights to destroy the world, not for glory, never glory, but to return the world to what they feel is the natural state of things, a chaotic neutrality, a world without empires, roads, laws, justice. In some odd sense of irony, they wish to have peace through ceaseless conflict. Let the strong kill the weak. Let vengeance be the final say. Let the hunter take the hunted, and let fire consume all, as it was some eons ago when the world was dark and full of nightmares. I suppose I cannot argue with the honest and cold neutrality of it. Who was right is who was alive. Therefore, for all to be fair, all must fall, and inevitably, all must have none. I told Korokos I fully understood this. I have read the densest tomes on rhetoric, I have debated the very merits of philosophy and religion, and I have studied the mind and its functions. I could cripple him with my pedigrees, and the ungrateful cretin just laughs, telling me books are just maces with fine print. Words are battle cries, death cries, and love cries, nothing more. I promised him. I promised the black line of Gorm that one day the sword will rust as the pen proves sharpest even in its sheath. I told him to give me the chance and to prove it to him. I will make entire nations burn in rubble. I will cause all places to vacate. I can give him a war without death. I can give him victory without failure. I can give him whole empires on plates because I speak the word of our time. So what if some absentee god calls to him? I have no scars and I need no sword to make armies crumble. What's more efficient than that, you ego-bloated, self-possessed madman? You may win or fail in this little war you do for our precious Green King. But the world already has marked me with the scar of victory at Bryax, and I know one day my pen will unseam you, Korokos, from the naves to the chops, and no sword will save you. I must remain vigilant. Gab, dear boy, you are close. Once the alliance is made with the Blue Rock merchants in Madazong, and once Zanakin has made a new front line, we can take this war from the animal and bring about a peace without bloodshed. And it will not be the fear of the sword, but the fear of my word. Because at this point, it's all I have left. And it says, note to self, Zanakin, you cheeky bastard, trying to take the war away from Korokos. What are you thinking? I'll have to divert blue rocks to your cause through the presence of the 5 from Adolphon. Worry me. Meanwhile, what does Korokos have plans for Zaka? Must revisit that later. And that was all that was in his diary. He said I was sent. Thanks. I read.
That is super rough for 2 out of the 5 heroes to hear. Because now I have to think about Woodward's literally drinking outside. Why a very logical, horribly logical argument is being put forth by this madman. Horribly logical.
Are we the baddies?
Think of it this-
Always.
Not yet.
Hey, think of it this way. Every terrible person has sound logic to why they're terrible on purpose.
That's it.
It's a part of writing a good villain.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Is
Yep.
having something that sounds kind of okay.
And as
Which is the
Alona
worst.
was going through those papers, basically Rufus was just doing this
The entire time?
in her eyes.
Oh
She's-
God.
Just because like this is my face where I try to mess with fire. It's like, yeah. Okay, so it was what was that intimidation again there, Roof?
Oh,
A 20 what?
27.
Okay, 27. She's doing that thing where she's like, quit it. Stop it. Damn you, lad, I'll rip your fingers from you and stick them in your mouth. Damn it. She's breaking under the light annoyance. You're now gonna get a +1 to interrogation checks, whatever you choose, diplomacy, intimidation, deception. You now have a +1 because you're just antagonizing her in her bad eye. This can stack with more interrogation, intimidation, whatever.
Okay, this one, Alona is going to read out loud because she's trying to win Matazong over to her side, and this is really funny. If that's okay.
Is this the one that's written in Goblin?
Yes.
Does she speak Goblin?
Alona?
Yeah.
No.
No, you got to get the one who speaks Goblin for that one.
Darn it. It's so funny. It's just so much. Okay, well, I can't read
She's
that
just
one.
right outside, just in case you
Just
didn't know.
Just open the door and be like, come in, you amazing drunk dwarf. Let's talk about things.
I feel like drunk around the pirate lady we're trying to interrogate might not be the best course of action.
Or
Maybe
Alona
later.
could always go outside, watch the
Tyler.
itchy. Just leave Rufa there with this coin.
I'm not. That sounds like a horrible idea,
Could
Michael.
you imagine if she got out? Can we just take a moment?
No, that sounds horrible. That would be bad in so many ways. Okay. So through this, Alona feels like a piece of poop. And she's going to look at Matazong and ask her, so your loyalty lies in the chaos, doesn't it? Then what's the point of taking over the world when it would just replace one system with another?
You never met the man, have you? You never looked the black line in his eyes. You never seen his smile. You never smelled him as he enters the room. You don't smell like a man. You don't smell like a narc. He smells like the ring of steel, the burning of cities and blood. And then he looks you in the eye. He doesn't just look at you. He stares through you into your soul. And as he looks into the coldest part of you, he says, I'll give you chaos, the likes of which you've always wanted. Chaos. It's not order we be wanting. Never that. Freedom. You think freedom is order? You're buying the lie. No. Freedom, true freedom, is anarchy. The desire to kill people? Oh, yeah, that's free. To make money from a deal? Oh, that's free, of course. To get a boat full of people as sadistic and crazy as you are, that's freedom. Not rules as written, papers, signatures, receipts, books from passive-aggressive sycophants. She spits at the feet of Rufa. No. He promised me and mine freedom, money, food, forever. And all the will and right to take it by might. Empires are going to crumble, lass. They're going to go. And your gods, if they're even alive, they're going to go too one day. But you know who's going to survive? When the skies are pitch black, the moon is all that's there, the water is empty and hollow, and the gods are dead. It's going to be me and thee, lass. And who do you think is going to be there to tell you what you've done is right and fair? Ain't no one. But the person still alive. Mark me words. Chaos is coming. Better start carving out your own chunk or else you're going to get taken up by it.
Rufa's gonna just kind of once again a little bit more light right in her eyes. Oh, we all die someday. Well, unless you're an elf.
No, elves die. Oh, they die just as pretty as you. Oh, they die all right. Sometimes they stop swimming. They start sinking. Sometimes they start bleeding and then they don't stop. Oh, they die all right. They're immortal. They're not invulnerable.
First, thank you. Yes, Rufa is quite pretty.
Oh my God.
And second of all, so, actually, Alona, do you have any more questions?
No, Rufa, I think I'm done.
If you want to know what I had for breakfast, it was a cup of coffee with a live chicken and its eggs. It was delicious, really. Bacon's good too. I cooked the bacon, didn't cook the chicken.
I was wondering if I could roll. Is there what would I roll to see if she's holding any information back?
Give me a perception check to see if she's lying or holding back from you.
Okay. $26.
She is definitely holding things away from you.
Okay.
You don't know if it's emotions or information, but you can tell she is trying to talk around you guys.
Okay. Rufa is just gonna kind of flips his coin in the air. He actually catches it, unlike me. Tucks it away and says, "Well, Rufa thinks that's all the information we could get from her. So Alona, perhaps you join our friends, and yes, Rufa will stay here and make sure that nothing untoward happens, and we'll make sure we have some more guards, and yes."
Oh, you're muted, Sidney.
I forgot there was a siren outside.
Oh.
LA.
Alona looks at Rufa, mildly concerned, and she walks over to him and whispers, "See, here's the thing. Out of everybody here, as much as we all have our secrets, I'm scared of yours the most. If I leave here and I come back, what am I going to see?"
The truth. Rufa's
Alona,
gonna,
you go ahead.
Rufa's just, if you don't mind, Sidney, Rufa's gonna take Alona's hand in his. Just gonna hold her hands together. When you come back, she'll still be here. And just kind of leans in just so she can hear. And we will have the truth. Nothing more, nothing less.
Alona's going to look at Rufa, meeting his gaze the entire time. Okay. And she turns around and she walks, join the others.
All right. Now, assuming Rufus getting down to business, I need you to give me an intimidation check. Depending on that, I'm going to send you a private message off chat. We'll deal with that from there. Sidney and Michael both, if I haven't already given you a hero point, I'll give you another one. Great scene work. Awesome interrogation. Once Michael gives me that intimidation check, we'll continue from there.
I get that plus one from earlier of the coin, right?
+1 because it's the study, the Green War, and +1 because so technically it's a +2.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'm gonna have to use the calculator.
That's never a good thing.
Not because it's a high number. It's just for some reason I can't do math right now.
Oh, that's fair. I was gonna say that's always bad when it's like, oh, it's so high, I need a calculator. Jesus, what did I do to this NPC?
Some of us just can't add,
Yeah.
and I own it. And if you're joining me in that today, that's fine. You're valid.
Yeah.
29.
29. Excellent. Okay, I'm gonna send you a private message, and we're gonna
fade to black.
Fade to black on
Fade
that.
to black. Fade to black.
Yeah, absolutely. So that being said, I'm gonna flip the script and now put the scene into Alona's hands as she is exiting the room. You two are there. Before we do, though, I just really want to make sure. Shunibus, where are you exactly?
Geonovis is literally laying, like, looking up at the sky, just like vomiting seawater.
Okay.
I imagine.
Okay. 1 second, I message Michael privately.
Wait, question: does she see Tobias or hear Tobias in his drunken stupor down to the church?
Give me a perception -1. Give me a perception check -1.
-1? Damn.
Because you're coughing. You're coughing your own water out of your lungs.
Okay, I get that. That's still gonna be a dirty 20 though. So
I'll take that. You definitely hear, kind of stumbling through town. You hear Tobias singing a song as he's stumbling, and you can tell it's kind of a. Was it supposed to be a hymn or a prayer? As he's just going like, "Gods above, make me a man most worthy, make of me a man not fleeting," and he just moves around to the church.
Sandal. I'm totally kidding.
I mean, you know where he's going. You know where he's going.
We're gonna follow him. We're just gonna follow.
Okay, you're gonna follow him. Give me a stealth check with a +4 because he is drunk and not paying attention.
Heck yeah! You said stealth?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, math.
God mode, Shionibus.
It's gonna be a 28.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
He has no idea you're there. And hell, people are gonna be like, there's someone following you, right? And he's like, the gods are following you, you peasant. Puts a hand in their face and then just starts singing. He's being outrageous. So you follow him, no problem. He doesn't care. He's probably even looking right at you, and he's drunk as a skunk, and he goes, nah, and then moves on. So back to the typing point outside, basically in the main drinking area. I was gonna say Shionibus again. Sorry. Ilona, La Pacificorita, and Woodward. You're now together. What do you do?
I'm going to hand Ichi the goblin notes.
Let me recopy and paste that and send it to her privately if you guys want to. You can even have a reader's theater, decide who's going to read what.
I mean, Sam, I think you'd have a field day with this.
Alrighty.
All right, give me a few seconds to send this to you privately.
While you do that, Ichi will just be, while Alona walks up, Ichi will just be saying to Woodward, I bet Shionibus is just, really enjoying that wine right now.
I mean, at the end of it, we're in a bar, but I'm sure that's probably the best thing that was in here.
Yeah.
I think there's a stretch over the table, to try to get their vision, Woodward to get his vision better as he looks at the table. Alona, how are you?
Oh, filled with existential dread and moral quandaries. What about you, Woodward?
Well, Ichi, what'd you buy last time?
What
Was
I
it-
buy when?
Yeah, was it ale or whiskey?
Oh, I mean both. I think
Yeah,
it's for
so
both,
both of
right?
those. That's what I'm
Yeah.
cool with. But
Yeah.
I understand. Alone, do you want a drink?
I think I'm okay.
Well, sit
Oh wait,
down.
yeah. Do they have tea?
There's a tea called like Long Island tea, and I think it's good. It's so
I was
good.
also thinking of tequila. But I mean that
Yeah.
works well. Any of those would work.
We do have a few tequilas from Asmicon. They're very great, very soft, and honestly, they give you just the right amount of perk. And the Long Island teas, well, they actually come from the Long Islands, way past here. They're very refreshing, great snap. I highly recommend it, lass.
I've never had that kind of tea before. Surprise me!
Sure. If it looks like we're pouring alcohol in it, it's because we are. And they just start making you a Long Island tea. And they even put this in this nice tall thin glass and they slide it across and they go, it's like 30% tea. Have fun. It's great. It's a great refreshing drink for a warm day or a nice relaxing evening at home.
Mhm. I love
Like
it.
20% more tea than I'm used to in those.
Well, here we prize a good cup of tea. So we make sure that if we're going to put it in a drink, we're going to do it bloody right and well. So, right. So I have now sent the note to Sam. And
Got it.
Okay. If you want to read out loud, if you want to trade notes with Alona, you can. If you want, what do you want to do?
So I assume Alona has passed it to me, and so you want me to translate? Is that what you want? Where'd this come from?
This was one of the this was a series of letters that was left on Gebzel's body when he died.
Oh, okay. Okay. I will read it with my language skills. All right. Listen well, listen hardy, guys. Oh, it's a colloquial goblin. Okay. This might be a little rough. All right. Great science thinker Manglemaw. Korokos has many want promises for super tall mean greens. Place being of the first super duper tall. I'm already there. It's a round place, somewhere being dum-dum. Making busy science work. Yes, know this. Hear word whispers more? Of course no poop stupid beard. Yes, we need look-see eye cover. Zebil, I am this close to molecular difference between shadows of gods and the daunting mortality that creeps upon our entropic cycle, and I have no patience for you or Korokos. My work will not be slowed, stopped, sufficed, or sated. My hunger will not be satiated, as this world and all its secrets are just a few good days away. You claim the pen, no me. I claim such factors you would insult with the title of magic. Stupid no poop smarty beard. Can group us together sit? Your attempts at my language are marvelous. Please do not insult, yes, and we meet. Make on double hard rock boat. Here is picture place. I will sit stay at location place. Me send do many works on double hard rock boat. No word keeping as to safe life. So please bring an entourage of expendable lives, if possible. And there's a map. It's nearby, like a day from here. And there's like a big X on it. You want to see? She just like shoves it back.
I can't tell if I've had one too many or one too few. Where where are we at with this?
It sounds like Mengelma is on From what I understand from reading these letters and from talking to Kahorba Bubble Boil, Manglemaw is on a really big metal ship that's been circling the coast, but this letter says he's going to be at this location for an extended period of time, and Ichi's right. This looks like it's about a day from here, so Manglemaw is close.
It's really colloquial. I'm sorry. I know I need to work on my accent a little bit, my goblin accent.
You sounded great. I mean, I got the gist of it, you know. Manglemaw really didn't like Geb Zebel all that much, apparently, so that's good to know, I guess.
Yeah, rock boat. I'm getting lost in the middle of all this. But if Manglemaw is close, isn't that kind of our next point of interest?
Yeah, it is. That's where we should go next. I mean,
Well, then do we need the pirate? Can we just go then?
Oh, yeah, we did. We could have used her ship, couldn't we? Oh.
I'm not saying it's going to be the easiest to get there, but I feel like we've got everything we need to get moving.
No, we don't need to stay here. So I guess our next point of action would be to have the party, because I'm sure everyone wants to experience that. And then whenever we have time, we should get going. We know that he's working on something big. We know that there is going to be another more terrifying monster that he's created from the lives that the Green Army has taken over the countries. So before he can release that on the world, we need to get to him.
This sounds urgent. Are we gonna have time to get a Bun Boys before we leave? It's been a long couple of days.
No, that's not even a question. Here's the thing. Okay, so we're always gonna have time. That's just scheduled into all of these visits. It's the only part of this city I actually like. Okay, so we're just scheduling that one in. We're not having a conversation about it. After that, then we'll get to Rockboat Manglemaw or something or other. The no poop beard. I'm not entirely. You know what? I'm just gonna leave you this. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this one to you guys. But Bun Boys, then other.
Thank you, Edward. You're very reassuring.
I only have two sureties in this world, and that's my hooch and my Bun Boys. I'm gonna take one of each before I get out of this town.
Okay. And everyone gets a hero point, not just those in the scene, but why not everyone here? We're gonna go on a 5-minute break. It's been a lot, you guys. So we're gonna go on a 5-minute break. We're gonna come back at 10:01. We come back at 10:01. We got an hour left. We're gonna finish the bad boy up, see what happens. Maybe have a party. We'll see you in 5 minutes, everyone. We love you. We'll see you then. Hey everyone, great to see you again. Thank you for giving us that 5-minute break. It's always appreciated, and we hope we have some fun of the last chunk of this episode. So really fast, Rufo, are all those questions secretly sent to me on that private message?
I'm typing it out right now.
Perfect. You focus on that for a little bit. Next, I want to go to either Shionibus or the gang in the bar. So the question is, Shionibus, you're tracking down Tobias. What are you trying to do now that you've gone to the church at this point and you see him talking to more members of the clergy, if you will, kind of battle clerics prepped, but wearing their holy symbol?
If she sits in the back and acts like she's praying, can she hear what they're saying?
Absolutely. Give me a perception check on that. I'll give you a +1 because technically he still has no idea you're there.
Sweet. It's gonna be a 22.
22. So Tobias ends up grabbing Lalanor out of the way, and he's talking to him, and you can kind of hear him going, "All right, I am sorry for my friend's disturbance. As you are aware, she was on the blood of the dragon from your brother's church. It doesn't matter. Listen, I was hoping we could take off from where we last left talking about things. And Lalinor goes, "Oh, right, of course. Sure. So what's refresh me. We've had a bit of a warring. So what do you need specifically?" I'd like I'd like to ask about Minima's pilgrimage and why you think she died. Did she die because it was divine, like it says in her book, or did she die because she was human? And Lalaran looks at Tobias and she says, kind of putting a hand on his shoulder, "What do you need from Minima's death?" And you can just kind of hear Tobias kind of choking up. "I just need to know that everything's going to be all right at the end. Whatever that means. You know, I just need to know that a promise can mean good things too." And Lalaran looks at him and she says, Promises are always out of love and giving. Oath and duty is just an expression of that love." Yeah. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. But when do you stop saying you love people? When no one says they love you back? And Lalaran looks at him and she says, "Sometimes we are called to say we love someone forever. That's why they're gods. Because they love us forever. We just have to find the right one that loves us the way we want to be loved. And then we love them back forever." And Tobias just starts sobbing as he goes, It's not fucking fair. It's not fucking fair. So I'm going to believe she loves me?" And Lalaran continues, "That's why she died. She died to fulfill a promise to those she loved for now and forever." And he just continues to kind of sob and he goes, "So what the fuck does that mean for me?" And Lalaran says, "I don't know. But I have a feeling that you're going to have all the time in the world to figure that promise out." And Tobias just starts heaving sobs into his hands. And it goes quiet for a few minutes.
Well, now I feel like an a-hole for following. Well, she is going to wait another second or two to make sure no one's like gonna walk back through the pews and be like, "Oh God, please don't see me or hear me. You're drunk as a skunk, so it doesn't matter." And she's just going to get up silently. Oh God, this is such a mistake. And fuck it. She's going to walk up to Tobias and put a hand on his shoulder.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Oh no.
Yeah, let's have a feelings check.
Yeah.
A feelings
Oh my
check
God, from
Chonibus.
Chonibus.
Yeah, a feelings
Also,
check.
Not the one you want to have this about, especially with gods.
it's very important right now. I need to know, is Shionibus soaking wet? Like,
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Head to toe.
Oh, yeah.
Dripping wet.
let's not forget that.
Yeah.
That is an 18.
Respectable.
So tell me how you are approaching this absolute lecherous douchebag who is crying in a church with a gentle hand on his shoulder. How are you approaching him?
How many clerics are around him?
Right now, just Lala and Alloway.
Cool. Is she sitting next to him or like in front of him?
They're literally facing each other on two chairs, just kind of haunched in that kind of warrior's rest that they do when they're looking at each other eye to eye, except Tobias is heaving into his own hand.
God, this is such a mistake. It's fine. So she's going to, as quietly, but like not stealthing as possible, if that makes sense. Yeah. And just kind of know almost exactly what he's feeling. And kind of just like the hesitant, like, oh, one shouldn't be here. And then just like pat his shoulder and then like rest her hand on his shoulder and just like stand there in silence until he says something.
The minute you touch him, the first thing that stops moving is his body. Stands dead, silent. It takes him a few seconds to stop himself from crying. That's the second thing that stops. His hand's already in his face, so then another 5 seconds pass as he starts to, I don't know, quietly recollect himself. He stops and looks at you. His eyes still metallic metal blue with that holy aura pouring through it, but you can see around the ridges of his eyelids and his cheeks from being pink that he's been crying. Otherwise, you looked him dead in the eye, you'd have no idea he was sobbing. And as he collects himself, he goes, I could tell it was you a mile away. You smell like fragrant jasmine and ginger spice and vanilla candles. So, Shonibus, how can I help you with this wonderful church?
She's gonna put a hand on his cheek and then wipe a tear away with her thumb.
He immediately backs away from that. Kind of like just completely taken aback, and he goes, my apologies. I'm in a mood of sorts. I just, did triage for another war that we seem to find ourselves in. Please, Shonibus, how can I help you?
I didn't mean to interrupt. I wanted to say thank you for your help today. I know it's not easy. I know better than anyone about death, but I wanted to say thank you. And I saw you walking. I was on the docks, vomiting water. And I saw you walking, and I wanted to make sure you were okay.
Thank you, Shonibus. I'm doing quite well, and even more so with your presence. He takes your hand and kind of pats it gently, and he says, but really though, thank you. And in the interest of face, I must say, the wet clothes does wonder for your figures. Is there anything else I can do to assist you today?
You don't have to lie to me. You said to me the other night about how you'll be there to listen if I ever need you, and something told me that you just needed someone to listen. But if I'll just head back if you don't need me.
Shonibus, right now I am blessed by the wisest counsel of some of your people, but I won't always have them around the campfire. If you don't mind a few lecherous comments, maybe I'd like to bend those delectable pointy ears of yours sometime around the fire. You know what I'm trying to say, yes. But the campfire, and we're talking as people, but I'm flirting with you because you're gorgeous. Am I making any sense? Because I can back up and start all over again. Hi, I'm Tobias Raphaelis, Grand Hospitalier of the Platinum Emma.
I'll be there when you need me.
Thank you.
And she's gonna like wring out her hair and just like walk out.
Thank you, Shimbus. I really do appreciate the view as you walk away. Am I right? Rangers do their squats when they run. You know what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about. He knows. Yes, you do. I saw you, you lecherous little monk. I saw you looking. Vow of chastity in my tight ass, loser. Anyway, have a great one.
Oh God, that was way more than I went to chew off. Okay. She's gonna look up to the sky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you proud. And then she's gonna walk to the type and pint.
Hell yeah. I also want to give a shout out to someone in the chat who said PJ is kicking himself every time he has to say one of these lines. You're not wrong. This is really hard to say.
You also wrote him, so like.
Yeah, no, I know. I made my bed. That doesn't mean it has to be comfortable to sleep in. Okay, so as I'm answering the questions for Mr. Michael Powell, who sent me the private questions, apologies that I was in the middle of a very intense scene.
No problem.
Let's cut back to the 3 in the typing pint. What are you doing currently?
Ilona slowly sipping her tea. Very slowly. She knows it's not tea because she's not dumb. But at this point, she's throwing a little bit of caution to the wind because it's been a rough 24 hours and she deserves it.
Oh, yeah.
You said it was 30% tea.
How
Not
big
even
is the
high
glass?
grade.
Yeah. So
No, please finish what Aloda's doing.
oh no, she's just sipping on her tea and just sort of like having this internal torment because she's contemplating the actions that she's done over the past a few hours.
I think Woodward kind of sees Ichi and Woodward have had this back and forth after the war, and Alona's kind of looking at the ground. And Woodward kind of slaps his hand on the table to knock everybody back into the here and now. And as he stands up, he says, I'm gonna get another round of drinks. Ichi, you know what? I think it would be best if Alona here got, you know what? I think she may need a little bit of encouragement when it comes to the things we've just dealt with. Maybe a way to get past it. I'm going to get us drinks, but I think you two should talk. And he just kind of gets down off of the bench and walks towards the bar.
Ichi looks at Alona, says, if you don't like your drink, I'll finish it for you. We can get you a real
Ilona
tea.
just passes the drink over to Ichi and says thanks.
She moves the straw from her
Uh-huh.
empty drink to this one, just starts sipping it. Well, me and Woodward have had a long conversation about war and not being used to war, and I bet you out of all of us are probably having the hardest time in this. I mean, before recently, did you ever think you'd be in situations like this?
know. I mean, you know, it's a reality of living things. And I know that. As much life experience as I don't have, I have read lifetimes of it. I knew when I was leaving the temple to do what I'm supposed to do that it was going to be big and there were going to be things that I was going to have to learn in real time. I just don't think I expected to have to deal with them so soon.
Can I ask, what is it that you left to do? What is it that you feel like you really trained for?
I don't know. I mean, okay. I haven't told anyone this, but I feel like you get it. Your ties are to your family, right? I don't have one. Not really. I mean, I do. Everyone in the temple is my friend. But my family has always been those that follow my God. And I've always had a pull towards them and a connection. And one day I got a message that I should leave. I was told that I needed to be the one to find the next avatar of Afra. It feels really good to say. And I'm really lucky that she chose me to find them. But I don't know where they are. And then I got swept up in this. And this feels like what I'm supposed to do because I just can't sit by and let the world just implode on itself. But along the way, I have to find that person because she's counting on me. And I am too.
Alona, that is awesome. What? Your goddess asked you to find the avatar of your goddess? What? You're kind of, I mean, you know, I'm not in your religion or anything, but like if I was, you're kind of a celebrity. Or you will be. But that's not what it's about. It's not about the fame. Take it from me. Because you know, I'm a little bit of a minor celebrity back home. I know around here don't know who I am, you know, whatever. But take it from me. It's not about people knowing who you are for, you know, like your famous acts. But I mean, it's about that a little bit because sometimes you get like, you know, food at the Bun Boys named after you. That's like really cool. But it's not what it's really about is when you find your purpose and you work towards that purpose every day, there are people that you're going to meet that are going to connect to you and they're going to join your purpose. And I know that you might feel like you don't know what's going on. And, you know, maybe what's happening right now isn't, you know, the avatar is just not popping out of the ground for you. Like one of those flowers. I think that so long as you remember that you have a gift that was given to you, and so long as every day you work in service of that, you're gonna change people's lives. That's so cool. Like,
Yeah, it is pretty cool, isn't it? I'm learning a lot, and I'm learning from you too. And Woodward. Yeah,
Woodward, he's stoic. How does he do it?
he's pretty good. Have you played his game of Run Amok yet? It should be on the back of his shield.
No.
It's fun. I learned how to play that, I think, around the second day that we met. And Shionibus, I don't know that much about her, but I know that in spite of her dark stoicism, she cares.
And she has good
And
taste.
she does, I think. I guess. I don't really. Yeah, she does. And Rufa, I think Rufa might be the one who's least likely to open up. He seems like he has a lot going on. But I hope that one day, maybe after all of this, when we don't have so much pressure, we all can actually become friends.
That would be nice. And maybe I'll finally figure out if he wants to be an artist and that's why he bought a theater, or if he just likes money. It's like 50-50 chance.
At this point in time, I will say that Rufa joins the conversation. Also, Shionibus, before we do that, I want to make sure, where are you currently? Are you now at the Typing Pint, walking your way there?
Yep.
Cool. The party's all together. Woodward, you, of course, are still at the Typing Pint, unless you decided to go to the roof and, I don't know, fist fight the sky. That's your choice.
Not yet, but we'll leave that for another episode.
Yep.
If I see Shionibus come in, Woodward's going to buy immediately another drink of whatever he bought everybody else at the table.
Hell yes.
He
Everyone's...
has 53 gold pieces left and has no concept of money. So let me know what he has left after this.
Hey, money is just a currency of what you need and what you need to have a good time with. So hit that coin. Also, does anyone want to look through the rest of Geb Zebel's stuff? There are 3 items of interest that have not been looked at. We got 1 from Shionibus. Shionibus, we have 2 and 3. And of course, we got Rufa. So Shionibus, 2 and 3 off the table. You have 1, 4, and 5. What do you want to look at?
Let's go. What's behind number 4? Let's go
Number 4. Let me get that to you real right quick. Also, I'm assuming Alona would let her look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
As long as she reads it aloud for the class.
Oh no, I hate reading aloud. That's the biggest fear in life, reading out loud.
What a mood. All right, 1 second.
While he sends that, is somebody going to ask why Shionibus is drenched? Because I'm waiting for that.
PJ, I was
Yes, sir.
wondering, when Rufa comes back to the group, he's also going to make sure there's like at least 2-3 guards posted watching Menazon.
Yes, absolutely. Also, I think I just saw Shionibus have a legitimate gag reflex to the information I gave her. That being said, there are 2 guards. The 2 guards are 2 very drunk, very big, very boisterous, and very loud women who are like basically holding like 2 leg posts from a table they broke earlier. And they're like, listen, lass, you may be cute and I may like it the way you look at me with those dirty eyes, but if you get out of that chair once, I'm breaking both your legs and putting you back in that chair.
Could one person at least be sober? Like, if we're going to be 3 people, 1 sober person?
Nope.
All right.
Nope. Asking me
Alright.
they're sober. How dare you, sir? This is a tavern.
Well, Rufus is also going to make sure Menazon's also securely locked too.
Oh, yeah, no, she's still very thoroughly manacled to that chair. Last but not least, you said you wanted to read one of the items in. So with 4 going to Shionibus, you want 1 or 5?
1.
1. Okay. Give me a second. This is going to take a bit.
Can I make my entrance though? In character?
Of course.
Okay. As Rufa makes sure that the door's guarded, there's people watching it. Rufa walks out of the door with a what do you call it? A handkerchief, just wiping his hands, and then as he walks over to the group, he tosses it behind him, and just goes up to a bartender and goes, "Oh yes, Rufa would like a royal wink. if you're unfamiliar with that special cocktail, it is 1 pot rum, a little bit of lychee liqueur, some cherry liqueur, a splash of orange juice, a bit of pineapple juice, a little bit of lemon juice, some lychee syrup, and some black tea syrup. And then you put a big spoonful of pomegranate molasses and some bitters.
They pour it and they slide over your way and
Oh,
they
and
go,
do not forget the little umbrella. Rufa likes the little umbrella.
they put it in the drink and they go, listen, we didn't have half the things you just said. We had to improvise, but I think the taste palette, the flavor profile is going to be the same, of course. Most of that, though, going to kick like a mule. So be careful for tonight's party. You don't want to be too effed up. But here you go.
Rufa thanks you, and Rufa he makes sure to pay for a drink, and then he adds 2 more gold coins as an extra tip. Hopefully that's a good tip.
I mean, they're definitely happy to have the tip.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they take it with great excitement. They put it in there and they say, do you see what happens when we stop asking for feckin' stories for money? We get actual coin. That's not the integrity of what I signed up for when I made this tavern. This was a story tavern designed for writing and expressing. And I get the point. Put it in the till. I'm sorry. We'll work on that later.
Just to let the audience know, I'm basically describing I just renamed it's called a Louvre tiki cocktail. So it's like a big tiki cocktail.
Oh yeah, it's massive.
So it's I want to like get the most fancy drink.
You did. Now, really fast. So I'm dying to know, Kylie, you had a spit take. Did you read what I sent you?
I did, and I'm stressed. Just
wanna
a little.
Do you want to read it for the party?
Sure. All
Um,
right. Don't ask why I'm dripping wet. God tried to drown me. Anyway, so letter from Spymaster Hush Nagglefoot. The heroes of Fort Raggedy, the heretic of Dunstan, the crushers of Methuen are on their way. Darkness have spotted them in the thickest of nights and the shiniest of days. As you asked, Darkness have been looking into the whereabouts of Xanakin. He seems to be moving through the forest looking for displaced orcs. He is rallying a force to try to attack Alphon Prime early. Darkness have lost sight of new unit Leontari since he took the head of Lova. Darkness believes he is under orders from Korkos from far away and has made his way to Megaw. Speaking of, the new super unit is released and appears to be awaiting orders from Korkos in a similar fashion to Leontari. New super unit designation Legion Legion?
Lejean.
Lejean, I'm so scared of this person now. As for Korokos' location, tracking his movements seem impossible at this time. Last check-in appears to be leaving the sea beyond the Great Divide and to be heading this way. Darkness will keep eye out to the sky for his fortress. Darkness will meet you again. Why did I get the super cryptic letter, guys?
Now that you can get mine.
Michael, do you want to read yours to the class as well?
Sure. I'm gonna mispronounce a lot of the names, so let's let you know.
Sure. Do you want me to get the names for you?
Sure. This is from Geb Zibble's paper, An Observation by Orcs on Orcs by Geb Zibble. Upon joining the Green Army, I was set to task as being the master propaganda general as well as foreign minister. Korkos wanted to title me General
Sam
Sam
Killar.
Killar. I do not find this humor entertaining, comparing my job to a coward singer, but I have done my task despite, or maybe in spite of Korkos. Blue Rock Tribe. More of a series of armadas than a tribe. They prize violence, but they respect wisdom. What most write off as shrewdness is just a simple-minded. These orcs are superior swimmers, mariners/marines, but their knowledge goes far beyond a merchant. I have had wonderful conversations about philosophy, metaphor, and the will of nature and the seas. Some of the things they have told me about the seas and that resides deep inside truly terrify me. Now that how they have survived with the pirate cities floating about, I will never know. Captain Milzon is only one of many captains of different armadas, but truly, she is the most fair businesswoman and deadly combatant. I can see why Korikos chose her. If only we can approach her on her terms, then we can ensure her people are safe, well fed, well paid, and free. These are her wishes, so I must make them happen. Red Rock tribe. They can't seem to get their history to correlate, but one this for certain they've been stranded on those damn mountainsides for generations. I hope Korkos never sees this, but there is a surprising gentleness to them. Just as sure as they would bash your face in, strip your flesh, and feed your meat to their griffins, they affectionately call brothers or birds, they would also cradle babies to sleep with the most unusual of bird calls. The people seem to bond with the local fauna to tremendous levels to the point where they seem to live side by side, and many times I have had a pet wolf almost tear my clothes from me, so perhaps these findings are inaccurate. But I cannot say enough about the uh,
Hold on.
or
Oh, right. Um, Many times I have pet a wolf that almost tear my clothes off for from me. So perhaps these findings are inaccurate, but I cannot say enough about the Thoktukain.
Totukine, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Blood bird riders as their name translates to, and they do fly as one, a breathtaking bond, a fraternity of beast and warrior in the tradition of the first Tara
Ta- Takarao.
Takarao, who bonded with the birds and thus their savior. Surprisingly, easy to bond with the will of Kurokos, it seems. Black Spear tribes, the home of Kurokos and his champion Zanakin. Maybe the Academa Universe saved me this fate, preferring the deep and dense forest terrain. They are surrounded in resources to hunt, wood and stone to fashion weapons, and the civilization they promise to sunder to rubble, but I will say they are some of the most ferocious and effective warriors I have ever seen. And their ambush tactics, knife strikes, and siege weapons are impressive for a group that finds all of that insulting. Spending more time with Xanakin and less with Korkos has shown me that we are very complex. Korkos fights to conquer, unheard of in any orc culture, choosing only to fight to survive, preemptively or punish. Xanakin wants this war, but he wants to fight correctly. Meanwhile, they use the local dirt and mud to cover their massive siege spears in dark pitch so their weapons cannot be seen. White Steep tribe to the far north. The fact that one massive collection of tiny tribes could survive so harsh and terrible a place boggles my mind. They pick fights with the biggest enemy there, preferring to take more ground that way. But their ambition is one that may never come to fruition. Still, I have studied them surviving 2 weeks on nothing but one flintstone, an arrow doubling as a short spear and pocket knife, and all the snow around them. If there ever is an end of days, I believe this tribe may be the last to die. Gray Ash, a very odd and interesting case. Maybe it is because they made home in the local swamplands, or maybe it was the oldest shamans from our culture before they turned into simple storytellers, healers, and weapon makers. By all my years of research in the arcane and occult, it seems this tribe blurs the line for both. They practice a very specific kind of necromancy. Their warriors carry spirits with them. Their wisest priests talk to the dead, and raising loved ones is apparently not uncommon enough, sometimes frowned upon if they believe the spirit wished to be left alone. So aligned are they with death, but I believe their tribe leader's form was mostly rotted to the bone, but then again, they live in a swamp, so this may have been years of untreated rot and rash. Yeah, they imparted upon me a deadly secret for which Kurikos has branded them heretics and blasphemers. I have no proof of this, but the elder looked at me with milky eyes and loosened jaws and whispered, Gorm is dead. This will require further research. Goldfire Tribe. All my research from this tribe has come through a series of letters as I am not allowed beyond the Orish,
The Orisha.
Orisha coastline. Masters of agriculture and no enemies in their land, living in a distant peace between the local elf society, Tezuku,
Tizuku, Nubian, and Mycanan.
Canaan people have become artists, not warriors, but truly beautiful artists. I have had to hide many of their poems, paintings, and sewings from Kurokos, who has become truly enraged at their docility. Honestly, this beast angers me to no end. If one day I'm allowed there, I wish to drink their wine and see their plays. By the word, they have theater. Fun-loving tribe. I must confess, I know very little of this tribe. They are nomadic, and from what I could tell, possess no enemies, but no resources as well. I've tasted some of their works, though. The delectable pastries still haunt my taste buds to this day. The local human equivalent is the franchise Bun Boys I've seen around. I fear one day there will be one on every corner, but maybe that will make the bun-loving tribe settle down for once. We can only hope. I have heard rumors of more tribes throughout the world, but my travel is limited. I have no further knowledge at this time. I hope that by learning more about my own people, I can better. The last line is scratched out in ink. Yeah. The actual last line is actually scratched out in ink. I will find them in time.
I know that was a lot. So if anyone wants me to go over that information again, let me know. If you guys want that information in any other way, I'll be more than happy to redistribute that information to you. Michael, you chose the biggest one. I'm gonna give you a hero point. So sorry, I didn't mean to make your chops waggle that much, but you did. So, does anyone have any more details of that? Because I know there's a lot to process, and that you want me to go over in detail again.
As long as we got the gist, which is, so the ones that have joined the cause are the Blue Rock Mariners, the Red Rock tribe with the Griffins, the Black Spear tribe, and
White Step.
the White Step actually have joined them, which we encountered in the Journey North, the one shot that we did, and everybody else they're still working on, basically.
So very, very one small change to that. The White Step have
Okay.
said they're too busy trying to basically
Okay.
go to war with the elves. That's kind of in Gebzebel's notes. Somewhere in there it says that they have chosen the biggest target on the entire island or the entire northern land, because if they can take them over, they have a massive wealth of resources, which is just basically the biggest fever dream. But you know what? If we win, that's everything. So the White Step is playing a very long game. The Gray Ash tribe have been besmirched by Korikos for saying that Gorm is dead. Not quiet, but dead. And for that, he has branded them heretics and blasphemers and has refused to even ask them to join the war. He might probably turn on them once the war is successful. And of course, the Goldfire tribe, he has also besmirched because he finds them docile, and their docility, he thinks, is an insult to dwarven culture.
What he said.
Yeah.
To dwarven culture?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Orc.
Okay.
Orc. Sorry.
I was
You know when you say something and then after you say it, you're like, oh, no, take those words back. I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
Same with what I realized. Crushing grab, not crushing crab.
Yeah, Michael,
The new
tell me.
franchise.
Crushing crab. The whole time
Sounds
he's like,
delicious.
he's like, how could you tell me it was crushing grab? I'm like, dude, I thought you said crushing grab this whole time. That's my bad. I misheard.
Anyway,
Well, that's good. It's not everyone.
Rufa, he's gonna drink a bit of from actually, who's actually in this bar right now?
Right now, you have, of course, your entire teammates. You have Morel, who's having water, who is doing this action while he's listening to you guys talk, like, read from a book. He's like, one more, please, thank you. What? Meanwhile, the rest of the bar is just people that have survived the battle who are drinking and partying and talking and writing, and they're just kind of pontificating in a circle about poems and stories.
Okay. Really quick, Rufus going to basically, just give Morella, that warrior hard pat on the back. You, my friend, you have done a good job in the battlefield. Very impressive, my friend. Very impressive. And then quickly goes over to Willwood. My friend, have you had this cocktail? It is very, very good. It's called a royal wink. There you are, friend Alona, and he kind of just goes over there. You could kind of tell he's kind of being overly friendly now, kind of cover up certain
So
feelings.
it's a bit of a disingenuous over friendly. Would you give?
A little bit. More like he's trying to compartmentalize what he kind of had to do.
Got it.
Did Alona see him wipe the blood off of his hands earlier?
Oh, he wasn't wiping blood off. He was just cleaning his hands.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Alona apparently did not notice you cleaning your hands. But she is going to look at you and ask you how it went.
Oh, it went very well, very smashing. We got the information. There is a few things that's concerning, but tonight we have our fun, and tomorrow we plan. It is time for us to have the young ones say blow off the steam. Come and join.
Okay.
It's a good time.
By the way, if y'all don't mind, Alona, since you're holding on to the notes, would it be okay if I already gave Ian the fifth and final little bit of correspondence?
Of course.
Good, because I already did that. Thank you so much for forgiving me for doing that. Ian, you don't have to read it out loud. You don't have to do anything with it. But I wanted to give it to someone, and you haven't had a chance yet. So boom, there you go.
So I got the message, and then I think what is actually happening is at the table is everybody is sorting through the papers and kind of putting together what they've learned from Zebul or the interrogation and such, and something falls off the table as Woodward shows up with drinks. And putting them down, he picks up a feather, but it's massive, the size of a short sword. That kind of has basically been wrapped up in all these other things. And he puts it on a table. He goes, "Hey, I don't know if I'm too many drinks in to read common or if this is written in something else, but somebody may want to take a look at this." And he just kind of slides it on the table, looking at Shionibus and Ichi for any of the languages they may know.
I'm going to assume this is from the Red Rock, and that's Griffin Feather, and I'm real stressed.
If you guys want to, the both of you can make a nature check to figure out if it is a griffin feather.
I don't know if you're down, but I am.
Nature check? Oh.
So close to being good. 21.
10.
To you, it looks like a very weird serrated blade. Again, it's about the size of a short sword. So it's like 3 feet long, maybe 3.5 feet long. It looks like it's got a bunch of spikes out, and it's heavy. It's heavy and strong. And you're pretty sure if you took this feather and started attacking a table with it, you'd carve that table in half.
And that was with a 23?
No. That was Ichi's 10. So sorry.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to make sure. I was like...
Totally understandable. No, with the 10, Ichi, you think this thing's like a serrated short sword. But Shionibus, you've seen these feathers before. You've seen them in Dunstan. You've seen them when the tri-mohawked rider, the Thoktokain, who was working with Zaka, landed in the city with a griffin, the likes of which you've never seen the size of before. You know this is indeed a special feather, a feather of the griffin of the Red Rock tribe. More specifically, a griffin of the Thoktokain.
Oh, she's going to slide the letter over to Ichi and then just like examine the feather further.
Does it look like it's in Goblin?
It looks like it's an Orcish. Let me send this to you directly, Sam.
Sounds good.
This is just an excuse so I can hear Sam's amazing voice acting voice.
Oh, of course, of course. Sam, please, in your best voice acting voice, read what I've just sent you.
Ichi is quite drunk, so she's gonna give a performance. She's like, so this is an Orcish. Is that what we?
Yes, it's in Orcish, and the word "thok dukain" is there. So just kind of, because I know it's gonna be really weird when you see it. I don't blame you. It's a made up word. So have fun with that.
Interesting. Another letter for me to read with my language skills. Is everyone ready? Good. A feather, the size, sharpness, and density of a short sword, is wrapped in bloody parchment. On it in Orcish, it simply states, oh, this is your description. Shit. This is Ichi describing what she sees before her. That's just my drunk accent. Now I'll read in my Orcish accent. Takaro it wise, and the Thoktukain rise. Keep Korokos out of our skies. I think I have had enough drinks. Maybe Bun's next.
I'm not. I mean, I've tried to exchange poems here at this bar, and that's not going to get him nothing. But is I guess if we have the feather, we know that. Wait, who's involved? The feather? Who's that? That red rock, black rock, blue rock. Somebody. There's a colored rock that's involved in this.
Red Rock. It's the
Red
Red Rock
Rock.
tribe.
There we go.
Shinobu's immediately pops her wine and pours Woodward a drink and re-pops it, re-corks it.
So you're looking over these papers. You see this thesis on orc people by an orc, Gebzebel, who's basically telling you that the Grey Ash tribe has told him that Gorm is dead and that this tribe seems to have an unusual relationship with necromancy. You're seeing that the Blue Rock tribe seems to be this massive armada, this culture of unknowable ships that move across the water, that prize wisdom, that some call shrewdness. They're like, no, it's wisdom. Let me tell you about the sea. You see the Red Rock tribe, who, despite the fact that they can just throw a carcass of any poor SOB to their birds, are still gentle and loving enough to basically cradle any child to sleep, and they have this massive bond with the animals on their mountainside. The Black Spear tribe, that because they've just had this abundance of resources, stone, wood, dirt, surrounding them on all sides, and enemies on all sides, that they have become the most powerfully militarized group because they can just go off and ambush anyone at a moment's notice, preferring night tactics to full day fighting. The Goldfire tribe, somewhere between Tezuku, Nubia, and Mykanan, somewhere just outside the Red Wastes and the Golden Expanse, is the Goldfire tribe. Because they have studied and perfected agriculture and have no real war tendencies, they've turned to art with their focus, making theater, paintings, poetry, and stitchwork, the likes of which Gebzebel has had to hide from Korokos because Korokos is enraged by their docility. The White Steppe tribe, who can survive in the worst conditions you can possibly imagine, who've decided to pick a fight with the biggest empire on that entire frozen rock. And who knows if they're going to live long enough to outlive these elves that can live forever and infinity. And last but not least, somewhere in the trees and forests of God knows where's the fragrant smells of buns being made by the most nomadic of tribes, the mysterious bun-loving tribe of orcs. You know that Mangalmaw is in a steel boat somewhere off the coast nearby. You know that Xanakin is trying to basically steal the war away from Korokos to fight this on his terms, not Korokos' terms, although resources are low. You know, there's some new super weapon hidden somewhere in Alphon Prime's major continent, and the second one probably on the rise. You know, the Red Rock tribes are pissed because Korokos is somehow everywhere at once and all over their sky space, and they're not happy with that. There's a fortress somewhere up above that Hush Snagglefoot has been tracking but losing sight of, and more importantly, Hush Snagglefoot, the spy master of the Green Army, has been keeping a close eye on you since, from what it seems, since you left Adelphon Prime. This is the information you have. The party is in a few hours. Give me one last downtime action before the party begins. What do? Do you get ready, put on a nice dress, put on your makeup? Do you say, nah, screw that, I'm going to do push-ups and sit-ups because I'm going to look ripped? Or do you just keep banging back a few domers and have a good time partying with your buds? What do?
Ichi is, though tipsy, has an idea that she wants to do before she forgets about it. And she's going to find some paper and writing utensils somewhere, maybe from the bar. She wants to write a letter to send to her contacts in Asmacon.
Okay. What do you want that letter to say?
First of all, who would my who would I have back there that I'd most likely be writing to?
Basically everyone at the Lucha Temple that you are either friends or enemies with, extended family members, obviously blood. You also know of someone that people call the Mask Smith, like some blacksmith, but for masks that you wear over the face. You know that he goes by two titles. One, of course, the Mask Smith, maker of masks, maker of faces, maker of names, but he also goes by his old ring title, El Toro Fuerte.
I feel like he'd be good to write to. So I'd write to him, and basically it would go like this. To El Toro Fuerte. Hey, it's Ichipoktan Papaqui, also known as La Pacifica Dorita. I know you remember me. So I'm out here in the world. There's a war going on. I'm just wondering, has this orc war touched Asmacon shores? Is everything okay back there? How's our war going? I just really want to know how everyone's doing out there, and if I have to worry about the destruction that I've seen here coming home. So just let me know. My mask is doing good. It hasn't got chipped or anything. Thank you very. And she's running out of parchment, so it's starting to get like really small. So like, thank you very much. You can write me back by these instructions, and she's gonna whatever seems the most like logical way to in this world to get a letter to her.
Oh, that's all right. The people at the bar have a system in place. They basically get a raven. They speak a song over it, and the raven kind of transforms into a fey bird, and it just flies off. Like it's almost like when the Star Trek like goes warp, all the stars just flip by it. It's like that, but the raven's just like as it goes through the sky.
That's cool.
Fey raven, it's the future. I tell you. All right.
1-800 Raven.
Yeah, 1-800 call RAVEN. All right.
Ravon?
No, Ian. You don't want to call Ravon. That's a bad time. That's a very bad
That's
time.
not my number.
Wrong dial.
Really fast. Actually, no, I'm gonna take a few seconds. I'll be right back. When I come back, I want a downtime from everyone, and then be right back.
I think Woodward may not be sober for any sort of downtime action at this point. I think he showed up drinking. Everybody else has gotten drinks. He's gotten more drinks. I feel at this point everybody else is just going to point Woodward at where they're going next.
I would be disappointed if Woodward was sober.
That's true.
Let's just get that right out of the way. I would be disappointed.
It's
Maybe
happened.
we could send Whitworth to go get our buns so we can have buns before we party. Maybe the bun people will be catering the party.
Ooh,
Hey.
good call.
I bet they have
Okay.
a little, like travel cart.
They have a little booth
Yeah.
or food. The invention of the food
Like a
truck.
food
It's a
cart.
food cart.
Food cart.
The roof of business idea.
I'm guessing we're probably gonna get to the interrogation information though next game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
honestly, it's
It's too heavy
it's
right
such a-
now, honestly. It's
yeah.
too
I
heavy.
think it exactly. I think that's a lot of it. It's just trying to get it
Oh, I love
the
what Reap Psyche
information of
just
how
posted.
jumbled it may be.
I love
Mhm.
what Reap Psyche just posted. I want to read this. It's like the elote man, but with buns.
True.
Great.
True.
That's so
So
good. I'm so hungry. Guys, I literally almost postmated a cinnamon roll to my home. The only thing that's stopping me is the apartment like call box to let them in is broken. And I
Oh,
realized that I probably couldn't time it to eat it on our 5-minute break.
Sorry about that. Okay, so last call. Let's see here. Shonibus, what is your last
Oh,
downtime action?
no.
What are you gonna do?
Oh no, I'm at war between two of them. Come back to me.
Oh, okay. Sidney, what is your last downtime action? For the
Alona's
party.
gonna leave the bar and she's gonna pray.
At church. Okay.
No, she's not gonna go to church. She's gonna go and find whatever nature that there is, and she's going to pray.
Okay. There is a farming / agricultural district called Fompsis. Do you want to pray at the Zephyr Mills, Sealand Farms, Hawkins Ranch, or a place known as the Field of the Hunt?
Field of the Hunt!
There we go. Okay, let me put that in there. Alona's praying at the Field of the Hunt. And what is she praying for? Do you have an idea, or do you want to wait till next time?
I'm going to wait till next time. I do have an idea, but I'm gonna save it for later.
Okay, okay. Cool. Making a note to myself to make you roll a religion check next time.
Oh,
Next up, Michael Powell, what are you going to do?
I am actually gonna use one of my background feat. It's called Streetwise, and Rufus gonna basically party with the group, but as soon as he gets a chance to kind of slip out unseen, he's gonna make his way over to where all the traveling merchants would be. And it says here, you can use your society modifier instead of your diplomacy modifier to gather information. In any settlement you frequent regularly, you can use the recall knowledge action with society to know some sort of information that you could discover with diplomacy to gather information. Basically, he's going to try to find some people that he could trust, trying to make some contacts and stuff.
Okay, making context in the market district. Got it. When we come back next week, I'll have you make a check for that. What skill society?
It says I can use my society modifier instead of diplomacy, which
Okay.
is good.
Okay, I will make a note of that. So, society check. Woodward, what's your downtime before the party?
I think if anybody at any point sees Woodward leaving the table, they would see it. But he's actually going to head, and I think a cliffhanger for himself would be grabbing another drink and heading back to the secret room that the
Tough.
captain is held in
Okay. Okay. that
with
should be-
2 drinks in his hand.
Okay, 2 drinks. Okay, let me make a note of that.
And this is how you meet another god.
Okay, and going to Matizong. Good to know Matizong. I would try to prep the roll, but I have no idea. I guess diplomacy, or you just want to play it by ear?
I play it by ear. I'm fine. Let me know what you want, and I'll roll it.
Okay, well we'll figure that day off. Shionibus, what are you gonna do?
Oh no. Okay. She's going to go outside. And like go like off to the side, but like not around a ton of people. And she's going to take out her scimitar and like stab it into the dirt. By the way, she took 2 glasses with her. And so she's gonna sit and she's going to pour herself a glass, and she's going to pour another glass for Azamara.
For Azamara. Got it. Okay. What is your intent with that? To just pay homage to a person who's very special, or what do you want from that?
Yep. Yeah, she's going to try to focus real hard to figure out where in the world he might be if Ross said that he's not up there with him.
Okay. Then when we come back for that, I'll have you make a religion check.
Oh no.
So, on this unusual cliffhanger, what we're going to do is we're going to call it here. It is about that time. Next week, we're going to start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different downtime actions. The great party of Agrippa upon a bear's liberation or freedom. And until then, we're going to say our goodbyes and our thank yous. Thank you so much for tuning in for episode 31, massive lore dump, as well as some great role play moments. And I hope that we're going to have a great time at the party, because I've been itching for this party for a while. So without further ado, let's say our goodbye, starting with Mr. Michael Powell. Tell him who you are and where you can be found on that sweet, sweet internet.
Well, I'm Michael Powell. You can find me all over the internet on my social medias, which are at Mr. Kapao. That's MRKAPAO. And also on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Michael Powell Does Stuff, because I do a lot of stuff, such as my YouTube channel, Fantastic Tales of Adventure. And on Thursdays on Toyzilla Network, I'm part of a show called Toyzilla Live, where I talk about toy news and nostalgia. And gonna let y'all know really quick, I'm really looking forward to Raw's rave party, because I'm gonna lean hard in that anime. Total weeb.
Absolutely. Next up, Sidney. Tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
My name is Sidney Rubino. You can find me on the internet at Sidney Rubino. And there was a lot of reading tonight. And if you liked my reading in particular, every Tuesday on my YouTube, I post a video of me reading folklore and fairy tales. So if you like that, come listen to stories that you wouldn't have access to otherwise, because these books are kind of obscure. And yay stories, because we like those. Yeah. And follow me on TikTok at Sidney of Hightower.
Matt, next up, we have Shonibus herself. Kylie, tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hello, I'm Kylie, or I go by Kai. It really doesn't matter at this point. You can find me at Kai's Wonderful Life on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that good stuff. I am also part of a D&D campaign called City of Promise on Dreamers and Dragons and Dreamers. That's what it is on. It's been a long day. We play every Monday at about 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you should come join because it's a lot of fun.
Very, very nice. Next up, Ian, please tell us who you are, where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet, and of course, the art behind you. Oh,
Sorry, guys. My mute button was out of place. My name is Ian. You can find me online at Bearded Scald anywhere. If you want to check out anything I do, you can check out witchandheathen.com. We are having an update this Saturday for all our candles and goods. Come check it out. I not only have this amazing piece of art behind me from the Type and Pint. You can check out all of their details. I'll be dropping them in Discord later tonight. But I also have a new desk friend, this plush beholder from Felt Forge. If you haven't checked them out, check them out on Etsy. I just got this guy in today, and I'm very excited to have him on my desk now while I'm streaming. So go check them out, Felt Forge. I will hopefully have more of their stuff up later.
all right. Last but not least, Sam. Oh my God. Yeah, I said it right. Sam. I don't know why I get Sam and Sidney confused. You're not the same person. Sam, tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Well, hello, I'm Sam Sterling, and you can find me at Hey Sam Sterling in all the internet places. I'm slowly making TikToks. We'll get there. If you want to see me toss dice onto myself sensually. Go check it out. Two things. First of all, tomorrow night on Life Action Roleplay, we are doing Purgatory Cafe. Isn't that right, Michael Powell?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So excited. I'm not usually in the actual cafe, so I'm very excited to join him for that. And secondly, seriously, Raw's rave party, guys. I'm so stoked for Saturday. I'm playing a grandma, if you didn't know, a level 30 grandma. Like, how can you miss that? You can't. You
Are you gonna have
can't.
grandma candies?
Yeah, we'll see. I can't give away her secrets. She has many secrets. That's all for me.
Ah, man. I guess it's my turn. My name is PJ Megaw. I'm all over the internet at pj.megaw, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We even have a TikTok I did just before we went live with some of your favorite NPCs of Edge of Legends answering the question, what happens when you get caught saying the F word around a child? It's fun. When I'm not here on Wednesdays, you can find me Tuesdays at the table with Michael Powell, 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. as we work with you to not only talk about these amazing TTRPGs we love, but build things that will show up at the table, like the Bun Loving Tribe and a surprise I have for next week. That being said, so much to say, this Saturday we have Raw's Rave Party. You, the chat, requested it, you earned it, you hyped it, and you're getting it. From 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're going to be doing the party. We're going to have the gods, and we're going to see what happens when a bunch of gods get drunk and someone crashes the party. We'll see who and what happens. But a little bit of a serious note, this was not designed to be a charity game. However, due to a tragic event to a friend of the community, we're going to be opening this up for a fundraiser to help them with a very important cause to pay for a tragic medical bill for a friend of ours, David's daughter. So if you watch, no rush, no pressure, no nothing on spending. Give what you can. Everything helps. But we're here to have a good time and celebrate life as well. More to add. Next Thursday, February 25th, I will be in Live Action Role Plays Alice is Missing role play, the all silent role play game where we text each other as we desperately try to find a missing girl. The whole thing is improvised on the spot. We'll see who is who and what happens. And last but not least, it's been a lot. March 6th, for International Women's Day, we have a one-shot to celebrate the heroics of women and the heroes of the sky based on real history. What happens when an all-elite bomber and fighter squad gets in their planes to fight dragons? March 6th is going to be a one-shot, the Night Witches of New Jack City. Come in and see these amazing women be heroes in their own right in the sky and prove that a woman's place is in the cockpit. And all of this will be to support the charity Planned Parenthood. So more details on that once Raw's Rave Party is over and done and amazing. So much planned for you guys. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on. Thank you so much for coming in, Mahooch. Thank you so much for the character sheet. And until next time, until next week, be safe. I'll see you same Nat time, same Nat channel here for Edge of Legend. Be legends, everyone.